this is the first podcast we're going to be doing for Idle Heroes. We have 2 guests this time. We were hoping to get a third, but something happened and he could not show. We have Dryp on the left top corner there. He's the leader of the Dryp's Guild, of course, on the private server, as well as he plays on iOS. Apex, I think, was the guild you were in?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, so yeah, he was in Apex, pretty much the best guild in the iOS server, if I'm not mistaken. I think you guys were contested with Lunacy for a little while.
Half a year. Yeah, we were the top contestants for half a year, so.
So yeah, that's excellent. And right below us here, we have Satoru from Idle Heroes Tips and Tricks, and I'm sure you guys are already well acquainted with him because he makes a lot of excellent quality content, and he has great insight on the game as well as awesome ideas for new videos, like the recent draw video we did.
Thank you, my man. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
Yeah, I guess that's me then.
Yeah, the intros are a little awkward. We probably should have set that up a little better. But what can you do?
Exactly, and I guess who you are is self-explanatory, right?
Yeah, if you came to my channel and you don't know who the fuck I am, then I don't know what to do for you. I can only help you guys so much. But anyway, what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be trying to bounce questions off of the audience. So if you guys have any kind of questions you want to know about the game or anything like that you'd like to see passed around a few more people instead of just one person, then you can gauge, I guess, a bigger variety of opinions. Now is the perfect time to do that. As well, we are going to be trying to construct a tier list, I guess, in the middle of that. It won't be a definitive list, of course, but it will be just something that we can use as a jumping off point, maybe to give a bigger group in the future, and then we can see how far that goes. But yeah, guys, so if you have any comments or anything like that, just show them out, and we can work with that. Awesome. Thanks very much for tuning in there, Draco. I don't know if this is going to be your type of stream because this is a very, very Idle Heroes oriented thing. And I just noticed I'm also on fucking YouTube with this stupid untitled broadcast. Oh,
Let's keep it going.
oh shit.
Oh, are you really?
Yeah, what was that? That was a donation, wasn't it?
Probably.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Maybe. Or maybe that was from something else because I didn't get an email for it. If that was a donation, whoever you are, you're the best, and I will shout that out as soon as it shows up. This is a bit of a jank setup at the moment, so I apologize for that. Okay. So we did get it. It was. Oh, it's from. It's from Satoru. All right. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that.
Definitely. I told you I'm gonna return the favor in some way.
Yeah, you did, and I didn't expect it to be on the actual podcast. So, but that's awesome. I really appreciate that, man.
Sure, buddy.
All right, so I guess if we're gonna start on like a tier list kind of discussion, I guess the first kind of like elephant in the room would be like, what do you guys think we would do with something like Mikhail? Do you guys think that Mikhail could be the best character in the game, or do you think that it's like, even with the numbers that we have, that's still probably not going to keep up with something like Flame Strike or Asmodel?
So, Dryp, you want to start?
Yeah, sure. Because I actually have a feeling that. Okay, so on paper he looks absolutely insane, but I've got a feeling that even though he works like that, he might not be able to compete with Asmodel at all.
Yeah, that's one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Satoru.
Really? You think he's not, like, in any way capable of competing with Asmodel? Like, I do see that the crit marks are insane, but when you take a look at, I mean, Michael or Mikhail, how like Suri likes to call him or her, it's a strange thing as well. Like, she has literally everything. She has stun, she has heal, and the resurrection thing. Like, I don't know.
I think she might be the perfect support, but so far I've only seen teams actually using her as a tank, which I think is quite a mistake.
Yeah, I can agree on that, and I think that her damage is going to be a little understated. I think that's what really might put Asmodel above, is that I don't know. It depends on, I guess, in practice, how those stuns really start to turn out, because stuns are very powerful, but currently a lot of teams are running a shitload of stuns anyway. So if you have a team with, say, Dark Arthandal, and you have a team with Ice Blink, and you have a team with Demon Hunter on it, it might just be a pretty unnecessary to throw in another hero with, again, a 3-hit 30% stun. Again, the 30% stun is fine, but in a late game team, which is what you're going to be looking at when you have a 9-star light hero,
I actually think it's 40%.
It's 40%. Okay, so either way though, my point is that I don't know if the I don't know how relevant those stuns are going to be on top of a normal like amount of stuns, but because if you're gonna have a 9-star light hero, you're probably gonna have at least a 7 or an 8 Dark Arthandal, and you're gonna have one of the other when it comes between Ice Blink and Demon Hunter. Usually, now of course there are gonna be fringe cases where that's not true, but I imagine that most of them will have those heroes. So it really comes down then to how effective is she gonna be in the long run, like when it comes to this bringing a team to 7 and 8 rounds, because that's where characters like her and Brea might be like super synergy, because she can survive forever. And if she can survive forever, then she can get Brea into the later parts of the fight that he really takes off in, right?
Yeah, I think so too.
True, yeah, but what could also be a point when you see Mikhail has like a 40% stun, and when you compare that to like the stun from Ice Blink, it's only like 25%. So when one was to go for like the Rainbow Aura, that would kind of make space for Flame Strike to be implemented.
That's true, and that is a good point. It would allow for more pure damage to be put on your team. The only thing I would say is that while Ice Blink's stun is only 25%, he is hitting 6 people as opposed to 3. I think Mikhail's ability is 3 at the highest end. So I think they average out about the same. Maybe a little higher.
Yeah, it's 3. Yeah, exactly. That's true.
But I do see your point where if you do have Mikhail instead of a pure crowd control unit, not only will you get just as much crowd control in probability standards, but you'll get probably more damage, because she's probably going to do a lot more damage than these units like Ice Blink, and she's probably going to the heal. I guess that's the big question that's kind of up in the air that no one really knows yet, because we haven't seen it in actual practice. Is how effective is this heal going to be? Because Norma, as an example, is a huge pain in the ass in the earlier stages of the game. So if you attach something like Norma's heal onto a much more useful character like Mikhail, then maybe that becomes even more problematic, and maybe that's an avenue that we just have to wait and see, I guess.
Yeah, it's true. When you that's what I was thinking about as well. When you compare like the Mikhail healing, like the weakest ally, with Norma, that actually like kind of comes out to a good equivalent. So both are pain in the ass, but like easy to get rid of when it comes to end game. But what my question would be is this redemption of Mikhail, like in what way the control immune? I mean, it's not really a big part of the game right now, isn't it?
That's true. That's another point actually that is very true, is that when you're looking at characters like Ice Blink and Demon Hunter, most people are forced to run them with speed artifacts or speed gems in order to make them get their abilities off first, because if they get stunned before they can use their abilities, then they're useless. Whereas Mikhail is not going to have that issue. You can stack Mikhail with HP to make her more tanky, or a damage to make her hit harder, and she's still going to get her stuns off because you can't stun her anyway. The control immune is just too strong. It's like 75%, and then that's at the base level. So I imagine it's probably going to be like 80 or 85 when you get her to 9-star.
Yeah, I think there was like a picture of someone posted in our Discord chat of our guild. I think it actually is like 80%, so that's ridiculous. You don't even need that aura anymore, like this full light, full dark thingy where control immune was included.
Yeah, I guess they realized that no one was going for full dark or full light, so like, fuck it, we'll just give it to some OP champion.
Exactly. And I mean, like, the HP of Mikhail is really like one of those things. Like 90k for a ranger, is there anyone who can compete with this in a way?
It's nonsense. Most warriors don't have HP like that.
Yeah. I think Asmodel has around the same, a bit more.
Yeah, I think he has like 1,000.
He is a warrior, as well.
Yeah, he's a warrior, exactly. So a ranger has more like HP than a warrior. I mean, that's something, definitely.
Yes, I don't think the matter of debate is that will she be a top tier hero. She's definitely gonna be a top tier hero, but I guess it's still a little bit too early to place her as the best hero just yet.
Yeah,
I feel the same way too.
A lot of people are going to pick Rainbow as an aura if they are going to pick one, or what's it called, the one with 3 forest and fortress heroes.
That one is it's not redemption. It's
yeah, it's
1 second. I can.
Can't remember.
Yeah, by the way, someone posted in the chat a video of like Mikhail 9-star.
Oh, it's called Justice. 3 fortress and 3
Oh yeah,
Justice aura. and it
Yeah, but I
gives.
think a lot of people are picking Rainbow or Justice because that's mostly where you get the most out of your team.
Yeah.
And if you're going with Rainbow, I can't imagine that you would want Michael over Asmodel.
Yeah,
Simply because of
Like both of them are the ones to go for, but
it is
the
a
one
hard
to
debate.
decide for is hard.
If you do get redemption though, that allows you to have 2 light heroes. So you could theoretically get Michael and Asmodel, but then you're starting to get into the realm of absurdity where it's like, how the fuck are you gonna get 2 9-star light heroes on your team? Like, it's hard enough to get the one. Especially if you're talking the official. Private server is a little bit more reasonable because I think you're like close to a 7-star Asmodel already, and we've only been out for like 2 months. So in the long run, that might be a lot more reasonable on the private server. But to do that on the official server, unless you're Shower, you're probably not going to do it.
Yeah, Shower with his 2 S models, like, is if I'm not mistaken, there is a aura with 3 light and 3 leaf, right? Like, was it called Redemption?
No, that's 2 light.
Oh, 2 exactly, yeah.
2 2 2.
Okay, I see. Okay, then it's nonsense because I was thinking to go for like 2 S models and 1 Mikhail, but in a way that would be stupid then.
The only way that would work is there is a good versus evil faction which has an amazing bonus, but it has like 13.5 attack and 16% HP.
So is it 3 light, 3 dark?
Yeah, but that's again, that's just the realm of nonsense. Where how are you actually gonna effectively pull that off? And I think that actually
with the light ones is no problem, but the dark ones like Dark Ethna and Sleepless are your only choices in a way.
Well, I guess that would be a good way to segment into the next question. Is that how do you guys feel about Dasmog? Or Dasmog, I don't know. You guys are Europeans, maybe you have a better grasp on how to pronounce that.
No clue how to pronounce it, but I'm not really like, whoa, that's a good hero. I'm not so
I feel the same way too. Like the only good thing is like the ranger damage. It's kind of Dasmog is like the counterpart to Mikhail in a way because of his first skill, and also I feel like that's pretty good against heroes like Demon Hunter or Ice Blink.
Yeah,
if his damage, like the 9.4k, will be enough in the long run, I'm not too sure about this one.
Yeah, and I've actually, just looking at his kit, I thought it was pretty good because seeing that absurd amount of HP, the high amount of attack, and then I misread his last ability. I thought his last ability powered up his allies, but instead it only powers up himself, if I'm not mistaken. But because of
it does.
The translation just betrayed me again. I mean, monster can't go to fight, right? But
I mean, they say ally can increase its 9% skill, so that's kind of dumb. I don't know.
It's a weird way to word it, but when I first seen that, I thought it was very strong, and I thought it would be. I knew Mikhail would be stronger, but I thought he would be much more powerful than he does seem to be because I did get a 5-star one on the seasonal server, and I ran a few tests with like Marauders and guild bosses and things like that. And that's where I thought he would excel because he seems like he's a character like Bloodblade, like Walter, that kind of ramps up as the turns go by. But he actually was only doing like 10k more than Flamestrike against boss monsters, and Flamestrike is not a boss monster hero. So the fact that he's not doing that much against those heroes is very disheartening and does not look good for him.
Yeah, like in the long run, I'm not really a fan of his skills either. Like, I know, the third ability, the third skill is actually like somewhat useful because it's 10% attack and 10 speed increase, but still the way like Mikhail has, like, his skills are just so much better than like the ones Dasmog has, so it's no comparison anyway.
Yeah, that's true. But now, to be fair, there are heroes like Asmodel that don't really take off until 6-star, and I did look at Dasmog's stats as a 6-star, and they seem pretty good, but his 5-star is underwhelming. So now maybe as we start to see some 7 and 8s appear in the meta, that may change the opinion, but right now at a glance it's not so great.
Yeah, I mean, it's good that he deals damage against all enemies, so that's fine. Also, the extra 28% attack damage each round is also somewhat good, but I just don't feel like 9.4k will be enough to like battle or challenge the top tier DPS heroes in a way.
Yeah, not without some sort of crit mechanics cutting in, because 9.4k is actually a pretty high base attack. But most heroes that have lower than that are considered DPS usually crit or have some sort of poison or something that lingers, whereas his poison is not the greatest. It's on Fat Moo's level, which is what I pointed out in my video, which is that's fucking bad.
Yeah, definitely. Who uses Fat Moo?
Yeah, who would make an 8-star Fat Moo? What kind of an idiot are we talking about here?
It's pretty
Like,
crazy.
I mean, I made a 7-star Dominator, so
Yeah,
that's the problem.
I have an 8-star
Like,
Fat
he
Moo.
did not talk whatsoever. By the way, Suri, some people in the chat are talking about some questions they want to be answered.
Yeah,
Do you have any
We do have
more
this.
questions for us, or do you want to answer those?
We can bounce them in the middle. The first question that I noticed here was that there was a gentleman wondering if he should focus on getting his Kareem to 6-star or if he should wait to get a Queen to 6-star. He said he'd maybe wait a month, but I don't think it'll take that long. But Dryp, how do you feel about that?
I actually think that, okay, so there's never anything wrong about bringing a hero to 6-star because it's not a mistake and you can always use it as fodder later. But the thing is that do you want to waste your resources on upgrading a hero to level 140 rather than waiting until maybe getting Queen and upgrading her? So if you feel like you've got enough resources, I would say it's okay to just make Karim 6-star.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. But like, especially in mid game, what I've noticed is that Queen is in a way more helpful because like I feel that Kareem only gets like good when he's above like 7, 8 stars, something that way. Because like his skills increase, and Queen even at 6 stars she's somewhat useful. So especially against like how they call marauders and like those guild bosses, I think in mid game she's better. But I mean, I might be mistaken, but that's what people like told me based off their personal experience. What do you guys what do you think, Suri?
I definitely think that Queen. I think Queen's better on all points actually because Kareem's damage really doesn't start off that high. You're right about that. So like Kareem only spikes up in the later parts, like 8 and 9 star. But the problem then is that if you imagine your opponents are going to have 8 and 9 stars as well, he's just going to get wrecked because he's got so little HP. He's got that faceless problem where even if his damage is high, you don't do damage when you're dead, and that's a big issue. He doesn't survive. Whereas Queen, not only is she good as a tank and she's good as a DPS, she's kind of got like that. She's very similar to Gru in that way, where obviously she's not as survivable as Gru, but she does good damage and reduces the damage of your opponent's team. And that's a big critical difference between her and most tanks, is that not only is she just absorbing the damage, but she's actually reducing crit, which means that your rest of your team isn't going to be getting hit as hard, which allows them to survive attacks that would normally bypass the tank anyway. So especially you're looking at characters like Asmodel that focus around these crit damages, and Demon Hunter. I think that she's a really good counter to these heroes, specifically because Demon Hunter and Asmodel are always going to hit her, because if she sits in the front row, the odds of getting hit with Demon Hunter are very high. The odds of getting hit with Asmodel are 100% because he hits both frontline units. So there's really no way to like stop that crit mitigation. On the question of actually upgrading her, though, I agree with Dryp in that fact that it probably wouldn't matter, because if you can get Kareem to 6-star now, he's not bad, and you can always use him for fodder later, which it's funny. Ask anyone 3 months ago if you use Kareem for fodder and they'd slap you. But the meta changes so fast, and right now it actually would make sense.
Exactly, like all these crazy new heroes being added kind of just make Kareem, who used to be like definitely top tier assassin in a way, like they just, I don't know, he's like getting lost in a way. They're just better DPS heroes like Flame Strike, especially. All that stuff's just changing so much, so rapidly.
It's the mitigation from assassins to rangers and mages. It's really taken off a huge way.
True, it's crazy, especially right now. Like, also I feel like there's this shift we can notice with like Mikhail, that rangers and like basically all tier heroes, also mages and all that stuff, just get crazy amounts of HP. So
yeah, I think that's one of the ways the devs have dropped the ball. Is that, well, I guess they haven't dropped the ball. They're making money. They don't give a fuck. But if you're looking at an extent from balance, it's a bit of an issue when you have heroes like Mikhail and heroes like Flamestrike that have like 20 and 30,000 more HP at 6-star than assassins. And again, I know assassins are supposed to be glass cannons, but a glass cannon is supposed to do damage. And if your HP is not sufficient enough to allow you to do damage, then you're doing nothing. And that just mitigates the whole purpose of that class. The only exception being like Bloodblade and Walter, And even Walter is, I think he's falling off a little bit because his HP is okay, but he doesn't have the survivability that like Bloodblade would have. However, I do. That's another thing I'm trying to figure out is it. I've had a lot of issues with Bloodblade, especially on teams like Dryp had pointed this out, where teams that run really strong front tank lines. So you're looking at Gru and even Balrog to a lesser extent. If you have a Bloodblade against these types of teams, it feels like it's really hard to get his damage off properly, especially if they're running some really strong mage and ranger heroes. So if you have like a demon hunter and a flame strike on the enemy team, it feels like Bloodblade's having a hard time. At least for me now. This is my personal anecdote, so I don't know. This doesn't seem to be reigning true for everybody. I don't know why I'm having a hard time getting even him to really do his role.
It's actually funny because I have no idea about Bloodblade, so I never fought him, never seen him actually. Nobody on my server uses him actually, so I don't know.
That's pretty lucky for you. Pretty strong. I'm feeling the exact same as Satoru, that my Bloodblade is struggling quite a lot in my team because he's like the only damage dealer that I've got besides Asmodon. And if I can't manage to actually go through the tank, I just lose. But then again, compared to Walter, somehow I feel like that Bloodblade right now, if we're talking about the private server, where not many teams have reached the full 9-star yet. So if you have Bloodblade at not 8-star or 9-star, he might be one of the only 9-stars that you have, and the same for your opponent. So when your Bloodblade uses his special skill and he kills one of the opponent's 5-star or 6-star heroes, he's going to heal a lot off of that. And they're such easy targets to pick off of that it makes him seem stronger than he actually is.
Yeah,
I see. The last skill is interesting.
Yeah, it really is.
That's a very good point.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I didn't even as I said, I didn't really deal with him in a way, but especially if people decide to level their Bloodblade as one of their highest heroes, and the enemy team still rocks some 6 and 7 stars, it's definitely a change. So yeah, he's going to fall off definitely when people get stronger.
Yeah, that's actually really true. I never thought about the I knew that he was going to be stronger in teams with when your opponents don't have quite as strong units, just because that's the way the 9-stars work in general. But you're right, that's kind of exacerbated when you're using something like Bloodblade that scales off of deaths. I guess it would be a similar case if you had a 9-star Kareem, he'd probably be doing a very similar thing, because as you start to take down just a few units, he'd start to really pop off really quickly. And that might actually that might give us a little bit of insight onto the past as to why he was so strong before, because most people hadn't fully developed their teams yet on the official server, and because of that, you were looking at Kareem just killing off a few weak people, or using even faceless. If you have 2 faceless and a Kareem, there's gonna be three weak units are gonna die on the opponent's team, and then Kareem is gonna seem like a god. But once everyone gets up to 9-star, it becomes real problematic for them to actually drop those units quickly.
Yeah.
All right, so we have a.
That was actually when I started realizing that Kareem was starting to fall off. And so when we started getting full 9-star teams.
Yeah, that's definitely
It
true.
just hit me that. So if Kareem alone, that's your only 9-star, and you're fighting another team with only one 9-star, then your Kareem is of course going to hit much harder because he's one of the hardest hitting units in the game, and the opponent only has one hero to fight against your Kareem. And one hero isn't enough to actually deal with the amount of HP Kareem has, even though he's squishy.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you actually think that Flame Strike in a long run deal more damage than Kareem?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, because it's hard for me to evaluate Flame Strike because I don't even have a normal 5-star Flame Strike, but I do have a Kareem, so can't really compare that. But thanks. Didn't do that.
No, it's again, I think the biggest thing is just the HP. If Kareem had 65k HP, he would be a super powerful unit, because he'd be actually able to live past the first volley of special abilities or ultimates, whatever you want to call them. But because he can't really do that, especially if he gets targeted out by other assassins, if you have a Walter on your enemy's team and you have Kareem's probably fucked, and that's bad, obviously, because he's one of the heroes that wants to last through the late game, and that's a mishmash of bad stats to bad abilities. His abilities don't line up with his stats, so
Yeah, exactly. I see that. Like he should probably like the demon power 2 thingy. It should also like say increases HP by 25%. That would fix stuff. So I think that would make him really powerful.
Yeah, it's the devs would actually have to be willing to test some stuff out, like test his HP line where you don't want him to have too much HP because then he's just going to take over every battle like Flame Strike does now. Or if you have too little, then he does nothing. So you have to find a balance where, for example, if your opponent has has like 2 or 3 supportish heroes, then maybe he could survive past the second and third round, and then he starts going crazy. But if your opponent has all DPS units, he gets bursted out. But then it would actually be a matter of him countering certain teams. Whereas right now, I feel even if you have a bunch of supporty heroes and like 1 or 2 mages / rangers, he's still going to die. And that's where he doesn't really fit any role, which is unfortunate. So we have another question here, or first off, we have an overall analysis, which would be that: do we feel that Bloodblade will fall off as people start to get all 8 and 9 stars? And I guess the answer to that is pretty universal. Dryp, you want to say something on that, or?
I don't feel he's going to fall off. It's just that right now, before reaching 9-star teams, we are experiencing that he's pretty OP. Maybe one of the best heroes, but he's still going to be super strong at 9-star, or well, against 9-star teams. It's just that he's not OP, but he's still going to be really
he's
strong.
falling off his throne in a way.
Yeah, he's high tier, not top tier.
Yeah, exactly. So he definitely can still compete, but not in the way he used to before.
I would say he's still the best death hero, so at Shadow Hero, whatever.
Do you think he's still the best Shadow Hero though? Because that's actually where my opinion is starting to sway. I think it's very hard to compare him to Aiden because they do very different roles. So I wouldn't, when it comes to saying like the best Shadow Hero, it's hard to say which one of those is specifically better. But when it comes to him versus Walter, I'm actually starting to feel like Walter is actually becoming better in my opinion towards the late game again, because not even so much for his damage, but just the fact that you have those stuns. You can have a DPS unit that does a lot of damage and stuns simultaneously. That's hard to underestimate. And when you're looking at a lot of people having like Gru and Balrog and Queen as their tanks, it's so good to just get around those and go right for heroes like Flame Strike, like Aiden, so that they don't live past the second and third round. And I think that's one of the problems I'm having with my Bloodblade, is that he isn't targeting priority units like most assassins do, and because of that, I often get to the third and fifth round where an enemy Flame Strike or Aiden is just exploding and destroying my whole team. Whereas if you had something like a Walter, that would be a lot less likely to happen, because he's always going to go for the weaker units. And I know that Flame Strike obviously has a high amount of HP, but it'll always be less than something like Gru. So where Bloodblade is attacking the tanks, at least Walter has a chance to bounce around the back row, especially with a stun. That makes it even better, in my opinion.
Yeah, but when it comes to like the frontline thingy, then Bloodblade actually has the like advantage, because he deals damage against 3 random enemies, whereas Walter just deals backline damage. So people usually put like their Flame Strike and stuff in frontline, like second spot. So Bloodblade at least has the chance to attack those heroes, whereas Walter doesn't.
I think that's very true in the official server, but I think it's starting to fall off in the private server a bit, where you're starting to see a lot of 6-spot mages like Flame Strike.
Yeah. Or a lot of teams where they use both Aiden or...
Yeah, if they have both, they can have like a Flame Strike in second spot, and then you have an Aiden in the 6th spot, and then you're just truly fucked.
Yeah.
True, yeah. Well, like, I can only talk for the official server, where like currently Walter would still, like, in that sense, be worse than Bloodblade.
Yeah, you're probably right. On the official, Bloodblade is probably still straight up better. And not only that, the one thing I would just bring up first off is that Bloodblade is better for bossing by like a decent margin. So if you're looking to get extra materials from the guild wars, or like the guild bosses, sorry, as well as the friendship bosses like the Marauders, Bloodblade is definitely your choice. Which is again, it's funny because Walter just seemed to have done that job so well. So it's sad that he kind of fell off in that way.
I actually think that a 9-star, with both of them, if you're fighting against a non-ranger, marauder, or raid boss, I think they do around the same amount of damage.
Do they do the same? Is it just because I've been fighting against the Malassa boss that's throwing that out of whack, eh?
I think that might be one of the reasons.
Yeah, gotcha.
But yeah, if you're going to fight against a ranger, maybe a range in the rate, of course, Bloodblade is going to be so much stronger.
Yeah, because of the 48%, just simply by that.
Yeah, I would say on that note too, though, that a lot of the guild bosses tend to have at least one ranger hanging around because there's like 2 or 3 of them in every fight.
Yeah, ranger or mage.
Especially in the hardest one, in my opinion anyway, the hardest guild boss is the Asmodel and Demon Hunter rounds.
Yeah, we surpassed that one. That was so hard.
And that happens like twice. It like duplicates itself like every 4 to 5 rounds now. Once you get past it.
Doesn't it happen at rate 30 and 31?
30 and 31, like right in a row.
I think so.
Well, let me go check. I'll see where it happens.
I'm not quite sure. I think.
Yeah, might as well take a look at as well.
Yeah, I think it's 21, 30, and 31.
Oh, 21 and 31. Gotcha. I thought you said 30 and 31. That's why I was like, back to back.
I thought it was. Isn't it 30 as well? I thought it was 30. It's 30 and 31 and 21.
It's 21, and we're currently only on boss 29 right now. Let me see if I can find it in my.
I think I can. My guild is 31. So let me check.
Yeah, he is 21 and 31. You are correct.
Yeah, exactly 30 and 31.
Yeah, I thought so because I remember
they're
that.
Just switching on 30. Demon Hunter is front, and on 31 Asmodel.
Oh yeah, okay. I just think because I remember that when I was in Apex unofficial, we were doing the last boss that was 30, and then they released 5 more new bosses, and we only just finished beating 30, and we were so happy to finally get over with the Asmodel and Demon Hunter combo. And then it shows up again.
Yeah, that's savage.
Yeah.
I'm surprised, like, what 33 to 40 are going to be, because that's the last one you can actually reach on the official servers, so maybe they're gonna have some secrets for that.
Didn't they just recently buff the, I think they came up with 40. Yeah, I think they came up with 4 new, or a bunch of new, I think 37 to 40 are the new ones, right? So I assume those are going to be much stronger than the current ones we're looking at, because that's what they did last time when they came up with the new bosses last time. They made them significantly stronger than the previous ones, or maybe it might not have been the last time, but the time before that, when there was a long time before they had actually released the new bosses. The ones that came out afterwards were like the 6-star variations, and that's when you started to see the Asmodel and Demon Hunter combo. I think that we're going to start seeing stuff like that. So like the next iteration from 37 to 40 is probably going to have shit like Bloodblade and Mikhail and stuff like that. Or maybe not Mikhail, but she might. I think she could just.
Mikhail would be crazy.
Yeah, I think if the resurrect skill we're going to take action.
Yeah, that's another thing. If you have sleep,
that would be pretty brutal.
That would
just watch the raid boss at 50% HP and then woof, it's at 100 again.
Oh, that'd be ridiculous. Such a disappointment to see that happen.
Yeah, maybe that's why we haven't seen Sleepless yet.
Yeah, that's a good point, and that probably makes sense too. They shouldn't really. I don't think if they do use the Sleepless and that, they shouldn't use those abilities. But at the same time, it is a core part of what they do, so it would be pointless to have them otherwise. So we'll see. But
hard to tell by now. But
I'm just not looking forward to Brea, because Brea he goes crazy after 6 rounds, and those fights are always going to go 6 rounds. Well, they're either going to go 6 rounds and you're going to die, or you're going to get crushed before 6 rounds. You're going to do like no damage. So it's a lose-lose scenario, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Gosh, Berea and this. I mean, basically all of these fights go to like 15 rounds, so goddammit, you're so true. Yeah, that would be such a horror.
He's just gonna be smashing. And I guess that's
especially when it would be like Berea and Flame Strike, that would be ridiculous. Facing them together, gosh.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. I think it actually might even be equal parts problematic if you have like Demon Hunter. I think Demon Hunter is one of the best units to pair with a really strong tank that lasts a long time, because her abilities are going to ramp up, and those silences are always going to fuck you some way or another. So you're losing a lot of damage, and you're losing a lot of. She hits really hard. Like when she hits, if you have 2 of your units destroyed, she's getting like, what is it, like 120% crit bonus or something like that. It's absurd how much.
I think so.
How much damage she actually gets pretty quickly.
By the way, there's also a really interesting question in the chat by CT1. He's asking whether she should go for a 6-star Thale or a 6-star Dragon Slayer.
That's
I mean,
like
we kind of answered that one with the other heroes as well, but
yeah, that's choosing which finger you want to cut off. It's not good either way.
yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking about as well, because Dragon Slayer also used to be on the same like kind of top tier tank stage with Dominator back then, and now it's shifted so bad.
That was a long time, and actually even a little while after, Dragon Slayer had a little bit more longevity than Dominator did, because before they nerfed his HP and his armor, I think he was actually really, really tanky. Like, he was incredibly survivable for a long time, and I still remember actually when my buddies from my first guild, he got so triggered when he realized that Dragon Slayer doesn't heal the amount based off the critting unit's damage. Instead, he heals off of his own damage.
I mistaken that as well.
And
so bad.
Yeah, and that due to completely to bad translation, he thought it was going to be so useful to have the Dragon Slayer with a bunch of crit units, and Dragon Slayer would just be healing up like a savage. But of course, that's not the case.
Oh man, that
Dragon Slayer together with Asmodeus.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that would just be ridiculous. And even back then, that was before Faceless had gotten her nerfs. So that's kind of the combo he was going for. Was he's going to have like Faceless and Starlight and Dragon Slayer. And if everything worked as intended, that would have been an amazing little combo for back then, especially. But the devs were like, "Nah, monster can go to fight, but Dragon Slayer can't heal."
Exactly, but like Dragon Slayer is such a good example for like the devs not thinking through. Like, all of his like skills somewhat make sense, and then he literally deals damage to burning units. In what way does that make sense? Like, when one thinks about like a bit logical, a leaf hero making damage to burning units, shouldn't he freaking burn himself? I mean, you're a fucking leaf. Like, what?
Yeah, and that also, if you're looking at thematic mistakes, I think Flamestrike has got to be the biggest one, right? Where like, what is with this hero? How is this not an Abyss hero? Why is it? Everything about her is red. She fits right in there. She uses fire attacks. She's kind of like a menace to the fucking meta, so that fits in with the evil theme. All of her attacks are based around fire and getting stronger as things die. Everything thematically about this character. Ooh, someone's in trouble.
What the fuck? Police is coming. What the heck?
Hopefully they're not coming for me. Sorry about that, guys. But
it's not on my side.
No, that was definitely me. That was something outside someone outside is in a lot of trouble.
Oh damn, rough Canada life.
Yeah, well, it's probably something like fucking smoking dope or something. Some kids got caught smoking weed, so they
kids having fun.
They sent the Royal Mounted
exactly,
Police.
Like, especially with her name, like Flamestrike's name. Her name is Flamestrike.
Yeah.
And how does she not like belong to the Abyss one? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's.
I have this feeling that they totally screwed up that event, because that was the event where they released Flamestrike and Edgar, and they also released this hero called Rexar or something.
Rexar or something. Yeah, I do remember that.
Something. And it was just such a mess, because that looked completely like a Fortress hero, and it seems like they just messed up and put Flamestrike as a Fortress hero as well. Because, and I think the summon event before, they released Emily as a Fortress hero, so I was a bit shocked that they actually wanted to release two Fortress heroes.
Yeah, and that was the time when the Fortress heroes were just going crazy. At that point in time, Fortress was by far the best class. Like, that was absurd. That's a good point too. They released Emily just before they had accidentally dropped Rexar out, and which a few people got, and some people have the icons for him still to this day, right?
Yeah.
Is that the Gladiator dude?
Yeah, I think he has like this really big helmet on. You can't really see his face too well.
Yeah, exactly. This one. People were like really wondering what this guy is, because they saw one guy on my server have him as an avatar, so that's good to know. He
was released just as a 5-star hero, and then they pulled him back because it was never meant to happen. And I think they, in a fit of spite, they gave everyone a copy. Everyone who got him a copy of Edgar. So I was like, "Fuck, what?"
Just nice, wonderful Edgar.
Give us Flamestrike instead of this. Why did you do this?
Like, there's no one playing Edgar.
No.
Like, the only plays I've seen Edgar being used is like the team up arena. I don't know why though.
There is someone on the private server that has a 9-star Edgar though.
Oh yeah, he's in our guild, and his team is actually pretty strong.
Yeah, that's actually, I should actually see if I can add him on the friends list just to have a few battles to see how the Edgar actually does. I think it's the only example I've ever seen of one, so I don't know. Looking at the math, I don't think he's a great hero, but I would be curious to see how it actually works out in practice, because before you see it in practice, you can never really know. All right, so.
But have you guys realized, by the way, I'm just kind of looking over his stats and his skills, and his third skill says Brave Edgar instead of Brave Edgar. Is that intended?
Oh,
no!
Some of the skills have different names.
Oh, that's a mess on top of a mess. I think if you look at his 5-star, it says Brave Edgar, but if you look at his 6-star, it says Brave Edgar.
Oh yeah, it actually does. What the heck?
Yeah, that's a huge fucking oversight, and they know about it. They don't care about that. And again, I'll say it a million times: Monster can go to fight. As long as Monster can go to fight, Edgar can be Edgar on any second day.
That's so. What the, like I was trying to talk about this skill being kind of unique, because is there any other hero that changes when you switch him to back or frontline? But then I kind of saw Brave Edgar, and just so I never noticed that, but that's funny.
If you click on him fast too, like if you click on Edgar and he does a little battle animation, if you click on him fast enough, he actually flies. He's a very agile rhinoceros in armor.
Yeah, I see. I mean, he looks like a 300 fucking pound dude, and then he just flies.
He's just floating, man.
Jumps.
He's got something going. It's pretty good. But when it comes to his stats, you are right. I think that is a very unique, and except for his first ability, I think they stole his first ability icon straight from Asmodel.
Asmodel.
Yeah, that's the same icon. So
exactly, it is.
They jacked that. They're like, well, that looked pretty cool, so we're gonna use that again, and no one's gonna notice because no one's gonna use Edgar. So we're gonna get away with it.
That's so funny.
But his HP is actually astronomical. I'm pretty sure he has the highest HP in the game if you put him in the first slot, because of that ability that if you have him in the front line, he gains 50% HP. I think that goes up to like 60 when you get him to 8-star. So you're looking at 60% on top of whatever his base HP is. So it's just ridiculous. It actually goes
ridiculous.
Out of control.
It is, yeah.
But
his armor isn't bad too.
Yeah. Well, no, his armor's average. I think like 900 armor.
Yeah,
I
average.
think I have a picture of him.
I think I could probably.
Oh, apparently Gagbo also changes depending on where you put him.
Oh gosh, Gagbo. Where are we getting to?
Yeah, I forgot about this guy. But that is true. When the hero is in the rear line, gains 25% attack. When it's placed in the front line, 25%.
Oh, I see, exactly.
It's like exactly the same thing. He kind of freaks out when you click on him too.
Yeah, some of the animations are really messed up.
Oh yeah, they're hilarious. You look at like Ice Blink and he like pivots on his little weak ass ankles, and it looks like he could just break off and go flying.
By the way, I don't want to talk about it, but can we for a second talk about Gurk's arm or hand or whatever that is?
Let's take a look. What are we looking at here? Gurk's
5-star.
Gurk 5-star. Yeah, I think it doesn't matter. Like,
let's see. I'll bring up the thing so everyone can see there.
I mean, you can literally see that being a shoe.
Yeah.
On his hand.
Gurk's hand does look like a high heel or something like that.
Yeah, it does.
It's weird. Maybe that's why he doesn't show his face, because he's secretly got like 4 feet, but he's trying to stand up on 2 legs, but he's embarrassed because he doesn't do it well, and you have to wear like a shoe for a glove. So he's just really shy about it.
Yeah, he's like a Greek god in a way with those wings and all that stuff, and oh man, maybe he's just ugly though. We don't know.
Well, I mean, he's got feet for hands, so that's quite an interesting thing. Or maybe he has hands for feet too. But
oh gosh, I don't even want to talk about it.
Oh,
what
nonsense.
a strange hero that is.
Oh shit, yeah, that's weird. There's a lot of them. I actually did one of my videos. Or one of my streams. I went through all of the 6-star heroes, and we just took a look at some of the weirder aesthetics, and it's a fucking mess. It's hilarious. Some of them are drawn really well. Don't get me wrong, but some of it is just a bunch of bullshit. If you look at like I think it's Queen. Queen has like 2 different knees. She has like one where a regular knee would be, and then her foot goes down a little bit, and then there's like another knee. So like,
oh yeah, that doesn't look too healthy.
No, it looks like she's had some serious like sport accidents or something, and they've like reconstructed her leg. But at least she is a demon, so I could kind of understand it. At least I think she's supposed to be like a goat or something, right? Because she has like those horns on her head and shit too.
Yeah.
So
even though that's even weirder because like she's a female, and I think when it comes to like those goats, only the males have those horns. So
yeah, that's true. I never actually even thought about that. but you are correct.
But whatever.
Though I love the
So
swords
crazy.
though. Queen's weapons are like my fucking favorite of any hero. I love the way that looks.
Well, I mean, we're at a good faction because don't you think that especially the Abyss hero faction is falling like off? Like it's
Oh, yeah,
like by
definitely.
far one of the worst right now.
I think it is the
Yeah.
worst, right? I think
Definitely the worst. I think Barrier came in and somewhat saved it.
Yeah, exactly.
Off the cliff, but
I
You
don't,
take a
it's
look
like,
at Gusta or Fatmu or Suri, your wonderful hero, like Balrog. They used to be somewhat good, but now they're just straight up trash.
I don't think Balrog is trash, but he is not as tough as I thought he would be. I'm using him 8-star now on the private server, and holy shit, does that guy not last? Like he dies
Yeah,
really
I saw
fast.
that.
And I think that's two different things. I think that he becomes a huge tank when he gets to 9-star and gets that bonus on his last ability, and also if you have the damage reduction, that makes him even better. But I don't have either of those things right now, so he's like at the worst possible state for using him as a tank, and I'm using him as a tank, so it's not good.
Yeah, I just straight up used my 6-star Balrog for my Dentalian on the official server, so...
Yeah. That's like the age-old question. That's one of the real questions of idle heroes. Is,
Yeah, that's been asked to me ever since I started.
There's-
Balrog or Dentalian, exactly.
yeah, there's two questions that you get a ton, and that's which one's better, Balrog or Dentalian, and the other one is how good is Melissa? That question that'll be asked till the
Yeah,
dawn of
true.
time. How good is this hero? And it's I don't know. She's got okay HP. She's got okay attack. She's got okay abilities.
didn't she not just get a buff or something?
Yeah, I think they buffed her attack a little bit, as well as I think the poison percent went up.
The only good thing about Melassa is that she works good together with like water or other poison heroes.
Yeah, but
But even then, I wouldn't use her. I wouldn't make a team around her.
no, exactly. And you look at like her base ability, and you look at things like she has average attack, and having average attack, and then having an ability that does 80% to 4 random enemies. That's piss damage. That's fat moo damage right there. So
Yeah, true.
it's hard to justify.
Not even the 30% attack more, like 30% attack more damage.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
Even that doesn't like really like.
No,
I don't know,
I'm thinking it was.
pushes her up.
I'll send them an email one of these times and be like, yeah, I could actually like fix all of these things. Like I suck at typing and my grammar is terrible, but I can make this better. Like you can pay me minimum wage and I will fucking fix this for you, just so I don't have to look at it
Anyone could
anymore.
do that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not too hard, but
No,
we've revealed some of those spelling mistakes. We definitely did.
No,
So
exactly, and it's so weird that they let that fly, and they don't even care. They know about stuff like that, or like the Edgar one, or Monster Can't Go to Fight, or
Bone Carver one.
Bone Carver.
When hero dead or something like that. It says
When hero dead.
Gains 20% crit when enemy died. It's the 5-star version. It's like the Fury skill, the last one.
Yeah, when enemy died. That's
I
good.
mean, it's nice that they try it, but I mean, they could also make the game full Chinese mode.
Yeah, might as well. I mean, just have everything Chinese, and then it'll be like roulette, and we have no idea what anything does. It might actually fix the fucking meta.
Exactly. Putting like some Chinese in there would definitely make sense. I mean, they couldn't get anything wrong right there.
Oh,
Or
shit.
maybe they could. We don't know about them.
Yeah, no, they could definitely do worse, but I mean, it's to the point where it's laughable. So I guess that's the good thing. You can still understand most of it. There is still a few examples, unfortunately, that do screw up, like Das Mog's recent last ability. Maybe that's just me, but that's so awkwardly worded that it's actually hard to tell at a glance what that does. So that's unfortunate. But most of it's pretty clear. Monster Can Go to Fight, for example, it's just a joke. It's like you know what it means, you know what's going on, but it just looks really funny.
Yeah, it's just like cosmetic stuff.
Yeah, same with the shop. When they recently did that shop thing, and they had like now when you go to buy an item, it asks you, "Are you sure you want to buy?" Before they actually fixed that one, because before when they first released that, it was "Are you sure to buy?" And not only was it "Are you sure to buy?" but it was all crammed together in one word. Like there was no spaces. It was just "Are you sure to buy?" It's one big thing.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, and it's actually a joke on my my Twitch now, where if you type in !devs, you'll get that spelled out like that. It's one big thing.
I see. I just tested it. Interesting.
Yeah, that's. I think it was Crimson Links did that because it was so absurd when he seen it that he had to make it an official
with
thing.
the neat Kappa face.
Yeah, the Kappa face, exactly. That's perfect. Couldn't be any better.
Oh gosh. But anyway, one question that I wanted to ask ever since we started is, what do you guys think about Emily?
Emily,
Oh,
yeah, you want to start this one, Dryp, or?
Go ahead. I know you like her.
Yeah, she is one of my favorite heroes, but it's only because I've learned a little bit about the way Dungeon Rush worked, and I don't know the specific details of it, but I know there was a period of time in Dungeon Rush where speed was the key stat. And I guess it was because the heroes had kind of stagnated. Most people had the best heroes, so it was a matter of getting your best heroes to attack first was a big priority. Now, I don't know if that's ever going to happen in Idle Heroes because maybe they'll be better at releasing heroes that are concussively stronger. Like, they just keep getting stronger as they go. So maybe that won't be a big deal. But Emily's ability to boost up speed seems good on paper. And she does a lot of damage for a priest. I think she's the highest damage priest now, except for
6.7. It's fine, I guess. It's not too much, but
no, I don't mean her raw attack. I just mean like that. She attacks 3 enemies.
The overall, yeah, that's true.
There's a few
like
stats
all
like that.
Enemies and stuff. That's cool, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think she's the highest damage priest, but I think she also has the least useful buffs out of the priests right now. So because of that, she relegates herself to kind of a mid-tier hero, which is unfortunate because, like I said, I feel like it should be better, but like it just isn't. So that's all it is. Her HP is average. Her speed is good with the bonus you get from the guild tech. I think she's the second fastest hero in the game, partnered with Mikhail and Dark Arthendal. So she has like some good base stats, but it's just her abilities are not good enough. If they gave her like an attack bonus that wasn't attached to her dying, that would be okay.
Would she be good in use with Rosa?
I don't like it would be good, but I think that it's just the fact is that not that she's bad, but you could find replacements for her. And I think a big problem with that again is that Flame Strike is in that fucking faction. If Flame Strike wasn't in Fortress, it becomes a lot more relevant to look at other options. And that's one of the things I brought up in the Mickey video, was that once Flame Strike came out, you just can't afford to put Mickey on your team anymore because Flame Strike is significantly better.
Yeah, the amount definitely decreased. I've seen that.
If you want to have a rainbow faction, like Dryp was saying in the later game, which is a very strong way to approach your team, you don't want to sacrifice Flame Strike for Mickey or for Emily, so it pretty much makes the choice for you.
Yeah, true. I agree. That's the thing about Flame Strike. She's just so crazy. Like, she also like kind of kicked off Ormus in a way.
Yeah,
he used to be one of like the good healers, and now people just don't use him as much.
Yeah, I think he's the only one that's kind of survived through it a little bit. I think he's got like, because he does specifically work in a defensive team, he still will have a place, even if it's not on like an attacking team. You can put him in your defensive lineup against in like the arena and the Guild Wars, especially in Guild Wars. He's nice because healing is very valuable in Guild Wars.
Yeah, or Brave Trial.
Yeah, I always forget about Brave Trial. I like never think of it.
It's helping me quite a lot because I've got him together with Rosa, and it's helping my team massively because it's making my team so much stronger, much stronger.
Yeah, exactly. Your team is deceptively strong. Like, tough is the way I would describe it, because you can't... Normally, you can burst through units pretty good by the 5th turn, but with your team, it's just not possible, because Rosa's bringing down your team's attack, as well as raising your opponent's attack, and Ormus keeps you alive through the reduced damage. It's actually a lot harder to kill units through that combo.
Yeah, it's helping quite nicely, because Rosa's buffing on attack, and the buffed attack is increasing Ormus's heal, and... because of what was the last win we had? That was
the last one. What? Like, I can't remember.
I can't remember either. Oh well, I think it was the last casino.
Oh, okay, the last event. You mean
Yeah, where we got the Flying Thor artifact, where it deals. It's for Fortress, and it gets 8% attack, and that's one of the reasons that mine is somewhat good, because the extra attack just does so he heals so much more.
Oh, so you actually got that Flying Thor?
Yeah, I went up for it.
Nice.
Interesting.
I suck so much at getting those fucking casino coins. Holy shit! I really.
So do I.
That is the
I'm
worst.
sitting at 100 now.
I need to get better at that. Like I miss out on so much free shit because I don't buy those damn coins. I just don't. I'm at 5 on the that's on the official server. Let me check the private server. Hopefully it's a little more than 5. But it might not be.
Hopefully, yeah, 5
I'm at
would
200
be a bit rough.
right now.
I'm at 84.
Yeah, I'm at 100 on the official though, but I'm planning on going for 200, like as usual.
That's what I usually do. I usually get to 200, 250, or whatever the current, like the easiest milestone to get for whatever my items are, and then I kind of just flake out after that.
Yeah, I'm at 200 right now.
I think.
Yeah, but like I think it's so hard to save up for like profit orbs, especially we haven't seen like a profit orb event in like ages.
Yeah, we've only ever seen one. I think profit orbs are kind of like a specialty thing where you only see them like 2 or 3 times a year at most, and I'd like them to keep it that way. But at the same time, then it's very hard for people to save up because.
Yeah, but I mean, especially now that it's obvious they kind of nerfed the like profit orbs in a way, especially on the official server. Like I don't know, they should probably increase the amount of those events.
What do you mean they nerfed the profit orbs? In what way
like
exactly?
I'm pretty sure like lots of people tell me that the odds of getting something good from the actual profit orbs has like literally been decreased tremendously. And I can feel that too. I used to get like, I don't know, out of 10 probably 1 or 2 5-stars at least. Now I'm happy when I get 1 out of 20. So
I don't know. I don't think I can speak because my anecdotal evidence is terrible. Like I have such good luck with that profit tree. I've gotten everything I've needed from the profit tree one way or another, including 2 blood blades.
I guess so. You're just lucky then, or I may be unlucky. So
it's hard to tell. With we need more data. That's where I wish we could data mine more appropriately. But like I don't know anything about that. But I wish. We need to find people who... Is anyone still in that test server, or has that just been removed, right? Because that was... I think... Were you in... No, you weren't in that either, Dryp. There was a test server made before the private server actually came out when Meh was first testing out stuff. And people... I think Soren was in there, and there was a few other guys that they were just given accounts with unlimited gems and unlimited coins and all this sort of stuff, just so they could fool around and see if there was any mistakes, and just beta testing, essentially. And...
Okay. Yeah, one of your... like one of the people in chat actually says there's never been an official statement about that, so it's biased. I guess that kind of sums it up.
Yeah,
it's just personal experience. So
yeah, exactly. But what I was saying is, I wish that we could have access to that private server on the side, so that people could just do it to collect data. Like we could do if say I collect 1,000 profit orbs and do 1,000 summons, and then Dryp does 1,000 summons, and you do 1,000 summons, and we can all pool that data together, and we can start getting much more accurate numbers based on probability. Just because we're doing so many, the sample size is so large, we could actually get an accurate representation of what's happening. But until we can do that, it's almost impossible. So I think that's something that Meh has an opportunity to fix. So we can. Someone should ask him about that. Probably not me, but I'm sure someone should in the future.
Yeah.
Probably.
I mean, maybe in the future, maybe Reddit will help us.
No.
At one point.
Reddit only makes things worse. There was the data mine info on Reddit that ended up turning like a bunch of different things that were wrong within it. So I don't know if that's the data mining problems, or if it was just that the script changed, like the code changed, because things were being said like as model could not be obtained through Profit Orb. They were saying things like Kareem didn't exist in Profit Orb as well.
Okay.
There was a bunch of other weird little anomalies like that. Things that if you had written this by hand, you could make those mistakes. But if you were using a program to actually data mine, this shouldn't have happened. It makes no sense for that to have happened on a machine level.
Yeah, true. Okay, yeah, I mean, it's always important to get a reliable source, and Reddit might not be the thing for that one.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Hard to tell.
Yeah.
But I mean, bad info is better than no info.
No. That's definitely not true.
Not.
No. That's how you lose wars right there. Is bad info.
That's true. Yeah, I guess I'm not a good fighter then.
It's you have to be.
What can I say?
No, I'm just making a joke about the Sun Tzu's Art of War. It's that book. He talks about using bad info to gain advantages constantly, as it's one of the easiest ways to win a fight without actually fighting is to completely fuck up the information that your opponent's getting. And I think that obviously it's not to the same degree when you're talking about trying to make a data sheet for Idle Heroes. Obviously, it's not the same severity.
Yeah.
But it's the same type of problem.
Sure is, yeah. Exactly. There's one question. Sorry for interrupting you, but Destruction actually asked, how was the private server created? Do you know more about that? Because I mean, I have no idea.
No, that's well out of my realm of understanding. I think it's done through like SQL editing, but now how that works is I don't know.
No, I don't know. Did the me guy just straight up think of the idea, or did he I don't know, who came up with that idea? Was it him personally, or? Yeah,
I know it was him personally, and I know that he spent a lot of time doing it. I know that there was like a 2 to 3 month period, excuse me, where he had been testing out how to get it to work and fooling with other things. Or maybe it might not have been 2 to 3 months, but he was working on it for a while, and he had finally got it to work recently, and when he released it. So I don't know anything about the details around that, though, unfortunately. I wish I did, but it's something he's never really talked about, actually, or at least if he did talk about it, it was probably on Reddit, which is, I don't know. I've never seen it.
Yeah, not your favorite place.
Yeah, I'm not. You're not gonna catch me on Reddit too often. So if he did talk about it there, someone else in the chat may actually know a little bit more about that than I would, or maybe you guys. I don't know how excuse me, how frequently you guys visit Reddit.
Not that often.
Not
I did a bit after.
Maybe for CS, but.
Yeah, I imagine you did Dryp after you you made the tier list thing or the unit discussion page. That was the same with me. I only went there at the start when I was first promoting my videos a little bit, and once that got off the ground, I was like, I don't need to be here anymore.
Yeah. Oh, Reddit. Okay, yeah. Difficult topic.
That's pretty much the way I look at Reddit nowadays. Unfortunately, is that it's an advertisement platform. It's not really a great place for discussion, but it's a good way to get content to the people who actually want it.
Yeah, true that. And you can really risk a lot when promoting your stuff on Reddit, especially. Lots of people will just hate for no reason whatsoever just because you did that. So
yeah, that's one of the things I think I was lucky for when I started making content. I was one of the few people who did it. It was like, I don't think you posted your content on Reddit back then. It was just
no.
It was me and a guy named Meepers who was doing it back then, and we were the only people who posted it. So there wasn't really much hate to go around because there wasn't any fanboys to say oh fuck this guy's stuff. We're just gonna upvote this guy and downvote this other guy. Because that's actually what happened to me when I was doing Record Keeper videos. When I used to do Record Keeper videos, there was 2 or 3 predominantly popular creators at the time. And when I tried to get into the scene, every time I posted a video on Reddit, it was -8 in no time for no reason. Or I guess maybe the content was bad, but there was never any feedback given, right? It wasn't like people saying, okay, you need to change this or you need to fix this because I don't like watching this. It was always just get the fuck out of here kind of stuff.
Yeah. But especially when you're talking about Meepers, it sucks so much that especially Meepers and Legend don't upload on a regular because, for example, Legend, as you already know, is on my server, so I'd love to see him playing. But especially he also spends so much money and he's still playing, so I don't know why he's not streaming anymore.
Yeah, I guess that the Legend didn't really take it too seriously anyway, the streaming side. I am surprised that Meepers kind of quit, though, because he was the first guy. He was the original Idle Heroes content creator, if I'm not mistaken. I think he was the first.
Yeah. He uploaded, oh gosh, how many months ago? I gotta check that now.
He was doing a lot of the patch notes is what he would do, which was surprising because patch notes were actually really hard to get a hold of back then. You had to manually just kind of keep track of where heroes were and then go back and evaluate them afterwards, which was very tedious.
Yeah, 6 months ago. That's around the time when I actually started playing the game. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. So we have a question from the chat here about Karma. Now, I think she was recently buffed, but I'm not sure what they did to her exactly. I think, from at a glance, I think they changed her. God damn that thing.
That sound, aliens.
It's not even on. That's an alert from Twitch, and it's not even listed as one of my sources on OBS, but it's still making a noise, and I don't know why. I appreciate whoever subscribed or followed, so thank you very much for that. But I tried to disable it for this because I didn't want it to be interrupting people when they were talking. But yeah. I don't know why it's not It's not happening. But
Yeah, I think I've got here what they added to Karma, actually.
oh, you know exactly what it was? Excellent.
They added another 20% damage to her special.
Yeah, exactly.
So
That's
it's
what
136, and the stun is up to 30 now.
Yeah,
30%.
the stun is what I noticed. I think it was like 20 or 25 before. So I noticed that they increased. I didn't know they increased the damage as well, which is pretty good because she has 10k attack. I think she has like the highest or the second highest attack in the game.
I think it's actually highest because I thought Walter had the highest, but it's actually like somewhat 70 above it. So
Oh, really?
that's
I actually
interesting.
thought Walter had the highest as well.
No, Walter is at 10.4 and she has 10.5.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
And I don't think
Interesting.
do either of them
Still,
get.
she is so bad.
Yeah. I think her speed is abysmal, right? Like she has 756 speed. What is that? Why is she so slow?
Yeah, that for one point, but I remember her being used when Miki was popular because of her second thing. I saw it around like probably a few times, but yeah, no, I mean she was never really like relevant at all.
She's really bad. Her skill
It's
set
only
is
like
just,
the dodge reducing, so
but even then, she's going to hit because she's so slow. She's going to hit after the rest of your team has already hit, and they're already going to miss the first hit most likely.
but it's actually if you combine her with like an Emily and like a heal, I mean especially like her last thingy when HP is low and 30% attack increased by 80, so that would be so ridiculous. Wouldn't that make her like 18 grand at like 6-star basic?
That's true, but the thing is that she suffers from the same problem that Das Mog does, where despite having a really high base attack, if you don't have crit modifiers, you're not really going to do that much damage anyway.
Yeah.
As well as the fact that her ability is going to become second, like Dryp said, so not only are you not really helping the hit ratio anyway, which is not really an issue anymore, hit is not an important stat, which means that like 2 of her abilities are just trash just based on that. And the fact that she goes last means that the Petrify is only going to actually be activating for 1 real round, which is a kind of a waste.
Yeah, I really hate that as well. That it's not going to stun the hero from an amount of attacks or actions, but it's going to stun the hero for the amount of rounds that ends.
Yeah, that's a really bad way to program that.
Yeah, definitely is. It's the same with Dragon. Dragon only stuns the opponent for 1 attack. So
But
Dragon-
actually,
Dragon only stuns for 1? No way. Dragon stuns for 2, doesn't he?
I think so. Yeah, I think
No,
it
Dragon.
stuns for 2.
Oh,
it stuns for 2 rounds, but it's attacking at the end of your round.
Yeah,
so
that's true. That's true. Okay, yeah, that's the way. I
So
thought.
when it hits, round ends, and that's already 1 round of stun. So
Yeah, that is unfortunate that that's the way that works. Of course, the stun is still valuable, but but to be fair, if it was actually 2 rounds, like if it said 3 rounds instead of 2, and actually stun for 2 full rounds, that would be ridiculous. Like that'd be so busted.
yeah,
The 1 round
the
is
chance is so high.
yeah, because it's 27 against. Well, mine right now is 27% against all enemies, so that's usually
Mine
gonna
as well.
you're gonna at least get 1 or 2 stuns usually per fight. So that's if it was for 2 rounds, you'd be pretty much incapacitating someone after the 2nd round, as well as putting that on top of DA, DH, and Ice Blink. Sometimes you have fights where no one does anything; they just be completely frozen out, which happens anyway, even without the dragon sometimes.
Yeah.
by the way, Suri, just a heads up, your YouTube stream actually reached 60 viewers.
Nice. It's I don't know how to say this properly, but I actually expected it to be a little more. The last stream that I was on was hit around 80, so the YouTube is a really good platform for me to stream on when it comes to views, but the transparency about what they're doing when it comes to ad revenue and stuff like that, as well as the options for viewer interaction are much less. Like I can get Ultimate Twitch Bot for Twitch. I can get what is it called? Streamlabs, which works way better with Twitch than it does with YouTube. And there's just a bunch of little things like that make the Twitch experience much better. So it's unfortunate, but luckily now I found a way to rebroadcast to both. Like right now I'm live simultaneously on Twitch and YouTube, so that's the way I'm going to run it from now on. I just need to get a second monitor so that I can actually pay attention to both chats, because right now I can really only watch one at a time, which makes it a little difficult to kind of engage with both audiences, but that's something to work on in the future.
True. By the way, sorry, people asking you in your YouTube chat why you quit with the new account series.
Oh yeah, that's well, I quit because it was like there was no progress being made. It was a very slow, tedious thing to do. Where like the last 3 days, I think I logged on and made videos. Nothing happened. It was just me doing daily routines, like just doing the daily missions, and I didn't feel like that was actually worth making content for. But on that note, I am going to be starting something different on the same lines. It was actually, let me find this guy's name to give him proper credit. 'Cause he messaged me last night about doing something else, doing something different. And what he said was that I could, instead of doing each individual episode as like one day of playing the game, I could just play the game on my own and then kind of come back after big changes have happened and make a video describing what has happened in the past few days and things of that nature, and kind of give updates on the account that way so that it's more noticeable. The guy's name was ZanzaX808, and I really appreciate that because he sent me a really long message talking about the intricacies of it, and that was awesome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a video series, again, it's a fresh account series. I'm going to start over, but I'm going to do it on the private server this time instead of the official server because the private server allows for a lot better progression in the first place. So not only will I have a better system to approach making the videos at so that it's more interesting, but I'll have it done on a server that allows progression to be done in a faster way, which is just 2 wins, I guess. So we can look forward to getting that done soon. It'll probably be in the next week that I'll start that up.
Oh, okay. Like, it could also be a thing for you to, like, I don't know, like, do those seasonal servers, like, just play them and, like, kind of make that a series every time.
The problem is I just can't care. Like, about the seasonal server, I fucking hate it.
Yeah, exactly. I catch someone asking, like, in the chat what Dryp thinks about the seasonal server.
Yeah, what do you think about it?
Oh jeez. Okay, so I was actually really hyped about it.
Oh, so you like it?
Initially.
Well, I thought I would, but after actually trying it, dear God, it's a mess. Okay, so anyone who's lucky enough to get 9-star Bloodblade and 9-star Flamestrike at the beginning, or rather fast, or at all, are pretty lucky compared to anyone who doesn't.
True.
As an example, me, I've managed to get Walter instead of Bloodblade, and as we talked about before, Bloodblade is so much stronger, and it won't be until like the last few days of the month where we're actually able to maybe get close to a 9-star team.
Yeah, so I can imagine. People getting Bloodblade on there, that must be so ridiculous.
Yeah, they are. They're definitely taking first. Luckily, I managed to make it the first day, so I just recruited a bunch of people and now they're carrying me in Guild Wars. So that's nice.
Sometimes it works that way.
Yeah.
That's good.
But when it comes to the seasonal server in general, honestly, I don't even like. I like the concept of the seasonal server itself. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, and maybe you could even shorten it so that it's only like a week long, so you don't really have such. If it was only a week, you wouldn't have like 9-star Bloodblades really destroying everybody. You'd have some other thing, I'm sure. It would be unbalanced just as much, but it would be quicker turnover, right? You wouldn't have the same person just running a server for 1 month and then it flips, and you get another person running it for 1 month. You could put literally quadruple the amount of people who get to enjoy it on the top tier level. My problem with it though is the rewards that you get. I don't think you should. I don't think you should be getting rewards on the original. Like the way seasonal works is that at the end of the seasonal server, you get rewards based on how you placed against other people in certain categories, and those rewards are given to you on your server 1 private server, and that's where things get a little messy in my opinion, because now you've just basically added a second layer of RNG onto a game that is already very RNG dependent. So if you're trying to find a way to make like resource management and skills and like just anything that's not RNG a factor into this game, the seasonal server just lessens that another degree and makes it more about RNG. Now I will admit that eventually that will peter out a little bit, because once people start to get to all full 9-star teams and they end up with decently strong teams, it won't be as effective, but it'll still always be an issue, because not only will it affect up-and-coming players, it will also affect people who are trying to make better 3v3 teams, because even once you get a full 9-star, 6 9-star heroes you're going to then need to move on to the 3v3 arena. That's the next logical progression, is trying to make 3 6-star or 3 9-star 6 hero teams. And having if you can win the seasonal server like twice in a row, or not win it I guess, but if you can get into the top 50 on some really important categories like twice 2 months in a row, you're gonna have such an advantage, especially for like the shop where you get gems, the Bade one where you're getting a whole bunch of fodder shadow faction fodder, because there's so many strong heroes there. Getting that fodder is super important, as well as the ones that give you you just get 5-star shards, so that's just a shitload of random fodder. The altar coins is another huge one, because you're getting like 20k altar coins, which right now would buy you fucking Asmodel and Flame Strike, which is
ridiculous. Yeah,
and that's actually even better, because when we actually made the rewards for that one, for the altar, it wasn't possible to actually refresh the altar. So now that it's possible, exactly. That will just be getting so much more.
Exactly. Now you have access to, just by default, even without the events, you have access to a 6-star Walter, you have access to a 6-star Ice Blink, Demon Hunter, Kareem, Gurk, which probably not that great, but the Arthendal as well. Exactly.
Yeah, but from the start, if you get the 20 grands, then yeah.
Wait, you say you can press it unlimited? It's not just the once?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Unlimited.
Oh wow, so theoretically you could just get 9 stars from this then.
Yeah, definitely. You could make a 6-star, you can make a 9-star if you wanted to.
Holy shit. See, I didn't realize that. I thought that it was just the refresh once, so like you could get the second one required to get to a 6-star. I did not know you could do that multiple times. Of course, that's really expensive, but you could still do it.
Definitely.
And it's not as, it doesn't feel as expensive if you're getting 20k altar coins from the fucking seasonal server.
Every month.
Yeah, you do that twice in a row. If you can manage to pull it off twice and you get 40,000 altar coins, that's...
But we are still lucky that it's only for the like normal ones and not for the limited ones like Flame Strike and Asmodel.
Yeah, that would make it worse.
That would take overhand. Imagine getting a 9-star like Flame Strike from the beginning, or 9-star Asmodel or stuff like that. That would be just too crazy.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. It's really, really bad. But,
so yeah.
Yeah, so
but
basically,
it still offers lots of possibilities, that's true.
I wish that the seasonal server was just isolated. If it was isolated, there would be no issue.
I actually wouldn't mind that either. At first I kind of wanted to, but dear God, it's so RNG.
Yeah,
true.
Exactly. Ridiculous. The game is already RNG enough. We don't need to flip 2 coins instead of 1.
I think like at the first 4 days or something, I was falling behind because I didn't really get any 5-star heroes. So after 4 days, I was already 10 levels behind. I was level 80, I think, and the rest were level 90.
Yeah, exactly. That's the same problem. I started like a half hour late for the server, and because I didn't get good enough heroes, I was already like 7 levels behind, and these guys on the top of the tier list were like, we're having like teams full of 5-stars. So like, hey, you have 6 5-star heroes in the first half hour, and I get 0. I'm fucked. Like, there's no way I'm gonna catch up to this. Like,
yeah, it's impossible.
Exactly, that's the problem.
So,
well, I mean, the idea behind it is kind of nice, so
yeah,
I mean, we have to credit May for that. It's actually like a good idea, but just not too well made.
It was poorly executed. That's the way I'd look at it. It's a good idea with poor execution.
True that. But I mean, in a way, people love like the RNG part of the game, which is like so huge. So that's maybe what he thought when he implemented it. So,
anyone who loves the RNG.
Also, the new players get like a chance, and not only the ones that play it since the beginning.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I think it actually hurts most new players. Because the way you have to look at it is that, let's just say if you have 100 new players that join, and they join the seasonal server, less than 10% of those people are going to get bonuses based on the seasonal server, whereas more than 10% of the already existing player base are going to get rewards. So the new players are actually going to be hindered by this, because more rewards are, just based on probability, are going to end up in the hands of people who had already been previously playing, especially if you join in the middle of a season. Then it doesn't help beginners really. I think it actually hurts them, to be honest. At least as a whole, it hurts most beginners. Certain beginners, of course. If you're a lucky beginner and you start both the regular server and the seasonal server on day 1, and you get some really good RNG on the seasonal server, you might have progression like you never would have had otherwise. But that's going to be the minority. That's going to be very like niche situations, and that's not going to be common.
Yeah,
And
I'm just surprised, like, how many players are actually playing the private server now, and how many players are still playing the official one?
Yeah, well,
I think it's around 3K or something.
yeah, I think there's like that many. There's like 7K registered accounts, but so many of them are alts. I mean, how many alts do you have, Dryp? How many did you make?
I made 13 this time.
Gosh.
That's obscene. That's
It was
obscene.
tedious.
But in this way, isn't it kind of strange that the official game did not, like, I don't know, try to close the server down because they take away so many players?
To an extent.
Not quite. Yeah.
It's hard to imagine. Did you want to talk about that, Dryp?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure because it's from China and stuff like that. It's a bit.
Yeah, but I mean, even if they're dump like a potato and spending all their money on like useless stuff, they should still notice that, I don't know, there's like this thing going on.
Yeah,
At least if they would care.
I think they know. I don't think they bother with it though, because the way you have to look at DH Games as a whole is a company that has like 10 to 15 mobile games that exist, and they're all probably just as profitable, maybe a little bit less. I think Idle Heroes is probably their most profitable game right now. So, but most of them are probably similar profitability, which means if you have one problematic situation when it comes to making money, you can't really devote all your efforts into fighting, especially when it's legal stuff. It's hard as a Chinese developer who I don't think they have an actual basis in America. Like I don't know if they actually have like an American team or anything like that. And then even if they did, they're like, oh, let's just send our American team out. I was like, oh yeah, man lives in Europe, and it's like, oh fuck, what is going on here? They'd have to have legal teams all over the place to actually enforce this stuff, and it's very hard. I guess it's not very hard, but these Chinese developers just don't care enough to really do that. They're making money anyway. These games exist solely to pay for pet projects for millionaires and billionaires. And that's all these games exist for. When you see DH Games publishing a new game, it's because there's a new boat that they want to buy. It's not because they want to make a fucking game.
And that's so sad, especially when you think about they create like especially Idle Heroes is such a like game that offers so many opportunities, and they just, I don't know, want it for the money. I mean that's hard to accept, at least for me.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, right? Like why would you want that to be the case as a developer? Well, and it's also short-sighted, because I think you look at a game like Summoner's War, which has been around forever, and those guys, the devs on that game, are extremely active, and that game makes a shitload of money. It's not like Summoner's War is just scraping by. I think they're like one of the top 10 most profitable apps, right? Or at least for gaming anyway. They're like top 10 profitable games. So if you look at their approach and you say, well, they have dedicated a lot of time, their devs are very active, and they do translations properly, and everything is done well in that game, and a lot of new features come out. How come companies like Idle Hero or DH Games don't approach it like that? And that's just because they can't be bothered, and that's just the unfortunate side of it. It really is. I mean, if you can't be bothered to fix simple typos in your game, how can you be expected to prosecute people who are making private servers?
Exactly. Also, their like suggestion and feedback tabs, just a joke.
God.
Like the only thing you get from that is an automated message, and yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, I was actually really surprised when me and Dryp posted on their Facebook page, and they actually sent us personalized messages back, which was really surprising. I didn't expect that.
I was shocked.
I know.
Sure.
Me too. I expected to get this. I figured everyone on that list was gonna get the standard like 50 or 100 gems or something like that, and it would say, "Thank you, patron, for paying attention to our game and liking our Facebook page. Here's X amount of gems." And I figured it was something like that, you know. But it was actually specific. It was like, "Hey, thank you for making that YouTube content." It was a little vague, but mine and your message was different. That's the big thing. Like, we didn't get the same message, and that was actually something I really liked.
You guys got messages where?
Yeah, the devs contacted us, send us a little. Actually.
Really?
Yeah,
oh, interesting.
Because they had a Facebook thing where they posted on Facebook and they said, "How do you feel about Rosa?" or something like that. Is he dependable or expendable or some weird shit like that? And Dryp posted his guide talking about the heroes, and they commented and said, "Well, thank you. You must really like our game. You put a lot of effort into it." And then he posted that on the line chat, and I was like, "What the fuck? I better post my own shit on this thing." And
damn.
So I went and posted mine, and they commented like a similar thing on mine, and they sent us both an email or a message in game like 2 days ago, I think it was. and it was just basically thank you for making this content. And they actually specifically listed the place where it was. Like for him, it was thank you for making the tier list or something of that nature. And for me, it said thank you for making the YouTube videos.
Yeah, I've got the guy, the email right here. Greetings, Master. Thanks for your nice work about the hero guide on Reddit forum. Please keep on. Here is a little gift from our part. Please accept it. Nice gaming. And it was 800 gems.
Holy, dude, I'm so jealous.
800.
Hello?
Yeah,
Can you please not miss me out? I want 800 gems as well, please.
I think that thing is still up on their Facebook, right? So if you just do something with Rosa, I think that's the main thing. It has to be around the Rosa thing. That's the angle.
Yeah, probably. It's likely.
Or at least that's what I assume. That's why I posted my video talking about priests. So.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna try my luck.
Can't miss out on 800 gems.
Hell yeah.
So that was.
I'm getting greedy right there. Holy fuck.
it was just really surprising that they were actually willing to do that.
Yeah, especially. Gosh, their Facebook page is actually even somewhat funny. Did you read through this Happy Father's Day announcement? Try to convince him to allow you to use his credit card like for 1 day. Oh my god,
that's not
so bad.
Yeah, that's not so much funny as it is depressing. I think that will make me equal parts smile, equal parts cry.
Yeah, I mean the Dragon Slayer on the little picture is crying indeed. So.
Yeah, he is.
Oh my god, the Facebook page is actually quite cringy.
Yeah, I don't ever go there. The only reason I even went there is because Dryp mentioned it on the line chat.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Hey, thank you.
Damn.
I don't really pay much attention to it. I didn't think that they'd even be interested in, first off, doing something like this, and secondly, when I posted my material, I'm like, are they actually gonna go to my YouTube page and see that I promote the private server and then like fucking rage the shit out of me? They're gonna be like, yeah, did you expect us to give you anything while you simultaneously take money from us?
Exactly. Gosh, and I was loyal and I did not get anything. Gosh, this just proves that they are so stupid.
Well, yeah, exactly. And that's what I was saying too. Like when Dryp was like, yeah, they said they'd give me something on this for this guide, and I was like, again, the guide is amazing. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like, how are they determining who they should be giving stuff to? When it comes to people who put effort into making their game better, like where is this coming from? This is so arbitrary and random.
Yeah, exactly. Man, what? Damn. That's actually a bit. I'm so curious to hear that right now.
Yeah, it was.
Because I thought they just completely ignore everybody, but all right, seems like they don't.
That was the first time ever, though. That's like that's the only time I've ever seen them react to feedback constructively in a way like that, because I remember the big one. There was a huge falling out where a lot of my previous guildmates actually on the official server dropped out because they revamped the gem system. This was months and months ago. Actually, I think it might have been even before the iOS server came out.
Yeah, I think so, because I've never heard about that before.
They the way that they made the gems significantly less useful, and they made it significantly harder to get them. Like the money went crazy. It was so much cheaper. Fuck off, Kefka. It was so much cheaper to upgrade gems before this upgrade or this update. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't think dust even existed. I think it was just money that you had to use. So this update is introduced dust into the equation, as well as made them cost a lot more. And they, in compensation for that, they dropped like everyone's gems down a significant level, and then they gave us like 1 million gold, and that was it in the chat. Whereas like in order to get back to where you were, it was going to cost like 25 million in the first place. So a lot of people freaked out, and they're like, "Well, why the fuck did you do this? Like this makes no sense that you would drop all of our gear down, give us pretty much a fucking slap in the face in terms of compensation." And then just expect that to be cool. And a lot of people quit. A lot of people left when that happened. It was really, really shitty. And so many people sent them feedback being like, just, you can fix this at least a little bit by at least sending us more stuff. Like, if you just send us more gold and more dust so we can get our gems back to where they were, that's the biggest problem. We don't feel like it's appropriate for the devs to just drop all of our power down from what it was and not give us a way to really boost it back up. It's like, we understand that you need to revamp the system. This is a better system, and it works better this way, but you can't punish veteran players for simply being here first. That doesn't make any sense. And that's essentially what they did.
Yeah, that's a bit retarded to think about.
So
Definitely is.
a lot of people just left, and the person who me and Quetzalcoatl were running the Get Good guild at that time, and we were running it with a buddy, that guy Exo, and he was an awesome guy who put a lot of effort into the game and a lot of effort into making our guild what it was, and he quit, and that was super disappointing because he was a good friend of mine too. Like, he was a cool guy to chat to, so it really sucked to see him leave over that. So I was super pissed at the devs when that happened. But so after seeing something like that happen, and then seeing something like what just recently happened with the gems, is quite a contrast. So hopefully this is a step in the right direction, and it shows that they are willing to make at least somewhat of a right change when it comes to community management. Hopefully.
Exactly. Like, there was no community like interaction whatsoever. Like, back then when I started, and that's just rough. When you think about it, especially at a time when the game becomes popular, they should like do those, I don't know, dev blogs or stuff like that, or like at least interact somewhat, but they never did that.
At least patch notes. Give us fucking patch notes. Come on, what are you doing?
Oh yeah, that was hot. They just changed hero without announcing anything.
Yeah,
I think I used to play at this time as well.
No, I actually think that in the beginning they didn't announce what heroes actually got changed. They just did it.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't announce anything. They'd be like, okay, so we're having a new fusion event this week. Also, by the way, Faceless is now garbage, but don't tell anybody.
Yeah. It was ridiculous.
Oh man, especially like, it's also so funny that they keep posting like always the last point in those patch noises, bugs, and I don't know what fixes, something like that, and they never tell us what they did.
Yeah, like, optimized other things. What the fuck?
Optimizations and bug fixes, exactly this stuff, and I would love to know what they do. I mean, they don't have to go specifically into great detail, but just tell us what you did. Yep. So, I don't know. Just, again, they're not being transparent there.
No, it's a mess. Like I said, hopefully they get better with that in the future. They just need to hire a local PR team. Like I said, man, just fucking hire me. I'll help you guys out anytime.
Yeah, some Europeans, some NAs, something around that. There's also like Brazil players and Japanese. Yeah.
I think it's mostly Chinese. I don't know if I've ever seen a Japanese player.
I mean, I can't distinguish who is like who. So.
I kind of can. I don't know the differences in the language, but there's a certain complexity to Chinese characters that Japanese characters generally do not have.
Okay. Well, whatever, but I guess your idea is nice with them, like, putting local teams or, like, stuff like that. I mean, they can't speak English, so why not get people to speak English for them? It's not that hard.
No, especially with the amount of money. DH Games is a multi-million-dollar company. Like, there's no excuse. It's just weak.
Yeah, but all of their games, like, Chinese-based or, like, visited by lots of Chinese players, or...
I think there's Chinese variations of all their games, right? Like, that's the thing. I think that's why I'm so surprised that you see so many Chinese players playing these games. Is that I'm pretty sure these have been translated from other games that are like duplicates of another Chinese game that exists. So it's really curious that they Chinese players even play in the first place. I guess maybe because they live in like America, because I guess there's a very large Chinese population in America as well. So there's probably Chinese Americans that are playing, or just Asian Americans in general that play. And that's where a lot of it is coming from. But I don't think there's actually many like local Chinese players that play, because they just play their own version of it, which is probably better, cheaper.
True, especially cheaper, yeah.
So.
Well, anyways, there's another question. Is like one of your YouTube viewers is asking, is there actually a balance between tech and upgrading heroes? So I think what he means is like, I don't know if it's better to like upgrade the tech at first or buy heroes to get your team going.
If you're talking about the guild coin stuff,
yeah, guild thingies, exactly.
On the official server, I would imagine that you should only buy. Well, actually, on both servers, you should only buy heroes from the guild store if you already have one that you need to level up. So if you have a 5-star queen and you want to get the 6-star queen, you could buy the 6-star from the guild shop, or conversely, if you have an 8-star and you need the last one to get a 9-star, you could buy it then. But I still think that the guild tech tree is so beneficial that ignoring it would be very detrimental. Do not
Yeah,
say.
exactly.
I would not.
For example, I think he's talking like buying baits or stuff just for like fodder material stuff
No,
like
definitely do not buy fodder material.
Definitely not.
No, that's
it's too expensive, and it's not really difficult.
Yeah, exactly.
Force
10
it's
gray
not
is
It's
harmful.
not going to take that long.
if you need fodder, just do the event raids every day. You'll get it.
That's
The 4
also
stars
one
will
of
add
the
up.
mistakes I made from the beginning on. So.
Oh yeah, I think most of us did that.
Useful.
Yeah, I think a lot of us did that at the beginning, where you buy like the Illyrias and all that shit, and it's like there's no real value to it. You're just wasting your coins. But eventually you will catch up anyway. But if you're looking for the most immediate bonus as fast as possible without wasting any time, the guild tech is super important, especially for like the mage tree. The mage tree is insane.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's the best one.
I think so too. It's I actually think like the warrior might have the best one, but it's just warriors in general are not great. So
Oh, yeah. I think ranger might be one of the ones.
Yeah,
like
especially with the dodge
least.
thingy.
but I think that dodge has just kind of fallen off because you get hit from other trees, so I don't feel like that's as useful.
It's a bit countered against the others.
And you have dodge and hit in that same tree, so it's basically giving you two abilities that counter each other out. So I wish they would just remove that and add something that would actually be uniquely beneficial.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see. But it's also kind of weird that they have dodge in the priest tree. Is there actually like a priest dependent, like who needs dodge?
No, and it's
I've actually seen some use Almas or Rosa as a tank, but I don't really think it's
Okay,
viable.
that's strange.
the trick about it is that it's actually 25% dodge too. We're not talking like 15%. It's 25% dodge. That's a lot. That's actually enough to that the hit in the trees isn't going to cancel it out.
Yeah. And there's a lot of priests that has the effect that whenever they get down below a certain amount of HP, they're going to activate some effect.
True, and when they then dodge and not like die fast, and that's good. Yeah, I see.
Especially if you're using Gru as a tank. That's kind of a thing I've been preaching a little bit, is that you can use some of these priests as tanks. Gru, I think, is or not Gru. Did I say Gru? Rosa, I think, is the best one for using as a tank, because his abilities are so strong and he has decent HP, as well as his ability when he gets below 50% makes him even tougher to kill. So he actually does decently as a tank. Of course, this is just assuming that you don't want to have a natural tank, because like.
By the way, does increases allies' defense actually include himself or only his team?
I think himself.
I think it does.
As well.
I think it does as well.
Okay.
But the question that someone brought up was, does defenses include dodge? Because defenses is super vague. Dodge,
that's true.
armor is not generally considered defense. Like, it's just called armor.
Exactly.
It's not.
That's strange. What is defense exactly?
Yeah.
I can't remember if someone said that in one of my videos. They mentioned that dodge counts for that, and I was like, really? I never heard that before, but. It does kind of make sense, because armor is never referred to as defense by itself. It's often referred to as armor.
Yeah.
But
I just feel like that. Let's see. Balrog, I guess. So whenever Balrog gets below is it 30%?
I think it was 50 or 30, could be. I
think it's a 30.
Yeah, it's 30, it is.
Below 30. And if it's not 9-star, then his armor increases by 100%.
Yeah, it's 30.
I'm not sure if it feels like that, like the amount of damage he blocks is doubled.
But actually, wouldn't it be then especially really bad to like use a Balrog against a Berea when Berea steals 22% armor and Balrog is low in HP and has even more armor to be like stolen?
That's actually true. I'm not sure if it works like that.
That's funny. If it would work like that, then.
Yeah, I think Dentalion's a nightmare against Berea too, because Dentalion just has such an unwieldy high amount of armor to begin with.
Yeah.
True.
His HP is so low.
I don't think Norma is the best tank priest for tank.
Definitely it isn't. No.
No.
It might be like early if everyone around you, or if you're in a new server and the servers only have like 6 and 7-star heroes, then Norma can be the best priest for a tank. But once you get to 8 and 9 stars, especially when you start getting some of these stronger assassins like Walter and Bloodblade, they just cut through Norma like she's butter. she falls down.
But it's actually, you remember our idea we had when you were like, the only reasonable use for Norma in endgame, just get 6 9-star Normas, and then just with a normal team push yourself up to arena level 1, then just put the Norma team in, and nobody will win.
Yeah, you just set your defenses to 6 9-star Normas. I'm curious just to see how it would go down, just for hilarity.
Exactly, that has to be so ridiculous. Nobody would ever fight you.
I'd actually like to see that as one.
Like, Norma is so messed up. I mean, that's true for sure, but...
Such a silly champion. I don't like Norma for the fact that her stats do not balance out with her peers. If you look at other 4-star units that become 6-star units, none of them have the base stats or usefulness that Norma does. Like, Norma falls off, of course, like they all do, but Norma's longevity is far better than theirs is, and I think she needs to be tuned down because of that. Either tune her down or bring them up. Don't leave it where there's this huge discrepancy between Norma and the rest of the 4-star that becomes 6-star.
I think Bone Carver is another one of the...
Yeah, Bone Carver is pretty good. I think the Grey-Eyed is also up there, but no one uses him that often. But he's kind of like Faceless. I think he has like the same kind of stick as Faceless does.
Yeah, I think he hits harder.
Yeah, probably. I think he probably has more attack, honestly.
Yeah, he hits harder, yeah.
I've seen some pictures or videos where he...
Who would use him? Like, I don't know.
I wouldn't use him over any other top tier hero.
No, definitely not. But I just mean comparing them to the other heroes that are of the same nature.
Yeah, I see.
They should definitely either bring those down or I think bringing the other ones up is a better idea because you don't want to. There's no reason to lower their value. If you could bring up the other 4-stars that become 6-stars to their point, that would be much more useful. But I think you have to be wary too because Alira is still useful against bosses, right till the very end, I think.
Yeah.
So like you're looking at when you're fighting guild bosses, if you have I use 2 Aliras on my team now for guild bossing, and if you drop like that as model's attack by like 17 to 18% or whatever it is when they both attack, that's actually a significant difference to how long your team will last. So
yeah,
your DPS can actually stay alive.
Never thought of that. It's actually interesting using Illyria.
That was taught to me by a guy in my old guild. Well, it's the same guild. It was just called Get Good back on season 4 or server 4.
Yeah, we've talked about that.
He was the one who brought it up to me. That was a long time. It was like the game had only existed for like a month or 2 at the time, and he was always so far ahead of us on the guild boss damage. And we're just like, dude, what are you doing? Like, your heroes are just the same as ours are. How is your damage so much higher than ours? And he told us like that Alira really makes a huge difference, especially in the lower levels. If you have all 5-star heroes, if you can incorporate a 5-star Alira onto that team, your team will be doing so much better against the guild bosses.
Oh yeah, I actually remember that.
You're kind of
I removed my Balrog to use Illyria against them, and they just upped my damage by like 500k or something.
Yeah, exactly. So it's pretty good, especially for.
And it was only a 5-star, so.
Yeah, if you
she's
get
like only PVE, like worth.
Yeah, it's because her HP is so low. I think she has like 6 HP at 6-star, so it's pretty fucking bad.
I would never use her at all.
Yeah. I mean, usually the like non-genuine heroes are bad anyways. So.
I just don't know why her HP is abysmally low, even compared to the other ones. Like it's like she has 37k, if I'm not mistaken.
36. Oh gosh.
36.
What?
And I have the full mage HP. So like she has less than 36,000 HP default. That's insane.
Oh my god. Okay, that's actually. Oh my god. Actually, 36k. Is there even any 6-star with less HP than her?
No, that's not.
No, she's definitely the lowest.
I mean, Kareem is at 41, so.
Yeah, and that's low.
41 is the lowest other than them.
Same like Margaret. She's also 41.
Yeah, that's a shame too that Margaret only has that much HP. If Margaret didn't have that low of HP, she'd actually be a pretty good hero, I think.
Yeah, she would. She's just too squishy as well.
Yeah, she just blows up too fast. Luckily, when she dies, though, she does literally explode. So she does something, but you don't want to rely on your your
But
hero's dying.
It's so ridiculous. Take a look at Margaret's third skill. The English on this one is actually perfect. Like, who is working on Margaret? And is there a different person involved in like Bone Carver? I mean, when the hero is killed, poisons all enemies, dealing 43. That's actually perfect.
That's pretty good.
Why can they put that right, but not a simple word? Like, I don't know. That's ridiculous. I just noticed that.
But they fucked up something. Her wings are on upside down.
Probably that's just, I don't know. Probably they wanted that.
Yeah, they probably did, but at least it looks funny. It looks like they've been inverted. The wings are the wrong way. Oh shit.
Huh.
But
yeah, Margaret is actually an interesting champion. Her skills are like, I don't know. It's all toxic, poison stuff everywhere.
Her base attack is like, I think I actually, honestly, looking at it now, her HP might not be the only thing holding her back. The fact that her ability does 32% damage, 32%
Oh yeah,
damage.
32? What? I thought it was 132. But that's crazy.
That is cripplingly low. Holy God, is that ever soft? You don't even notice that.
Barely anything.
Yeah, you flinch and it'd be okay. And her speed is like 774.
It does increase by a lot, doesn't it? How much does Bloodblades increase by? That's... No, wait.
I'm not sure.
Well, Bloodblade does 128 to 3 enemies, and then it has 36 damage per turn.
Wait, so Margaret, does it increase by 48 round? Or does it only deal 48% each round and doesn't increase?
Dealing 48% more damage each round.
Yeah, so it must increase, right? So the last round, the third round, is going to deal quite a lot.
Mm-hmm. Is that how that actually works?
I think so.
I think it does.
Because that's different from Bloodblade then.
It
because
is.
Bloodblade only, that's like just 36% each round instead of increasement.
Okay, so the way you're looking at this, it would do 32, then plus 48, then plus 48, and then plus 48 again.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is pretty strong over time, actually. Okay, no, I didn't realize that's how that worked.
That's like actually really strong.
It is. That is a lot of damage. That's my bad.
But she's still too squishy. So it's a bit.
Yeah, I misunderstood the way that ability worked. I thought it was just doing the flat poison every round.
Oh, okay.
That's why I was like, what is it? What?
But I mean, it's actually stating more damage each round, so it's got to be 48, 48, 48, something like that.
I guess that's why that's why when you run into like the 4 Margarets in the tower, she's so fucked up.
Yeah, true. Gosh, those stages were pain in the ass.
Luckily, if you have like a Lutz, you can kind of cheese through it pretty easy. But if you don't have Lutz, you're in hard shape.
That's true. Luckily, I've gotten past those stages. I'm at 363. That's the Walters, but that's like almost the same. So.
Yeah. Where am I even at on the tower now? I don't even know. I think I'm on. Yeah.
I think you might be further than me, actually.
I think I'm 359. So you're still ahead of me.
Oh gosh.
Oh,
359. I can only dream of that. I'm 281 on the official server.
On the official server, I'm nowhere near that though. On the official server, I'm on 319.
Oh, I can actually go check.
Still good.
I think I've gotten past the Gurks, maybe 345. Not quite sure.
Yeah, your team on official is really strong too.
Yeah. Just check.
What is your...
Somebody
Somebody wants to be noticed.
TM87.
Yeah.
What is TM87? I have to look that up now. If it's even anything.
I know him from my YouTube streams. He's a cool guy. Notice me, senpai. Oh gosh.
Okay, it's different for each generation, but the Urban Dictionary. Oh, it's Swagger. Okay, there we go. That's what it is.
Oh my god, Urban Dictionary is such a troll site.
Oh yeah, well, it went like I knew that name meant something though. When I see TM87, it's like that's a Pokemon move. Well, what one is it? What is this? What is going on here?
Oh.
It's
Fretzy's asking about Edgar, but we've discussed them already.
Yeah, we've already discussed Edgar. He flies really well for a large rhinoceros with armor, but doesn't fight that well.
That probably sums it up really good. Also, he has a gosh, how is that actually called in English? Give me a second. A broom? Yeah, broom on top of his head. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, he has that broom hat.
Yeah, he does.
So he's a fancy flying rhino that is basically mediocre.
But he could be used as a good cleaning utensil.
Yeah, the frontline thingy is crazy with his HP. That's what we agreed on. But other than that, he's...
Yeah, but I don't think he fits in the front line at all.
No, not too much. He's like, if the only thing that he would be when he gets those extra 50%, it would just make him a second, like, Dominator or Dragon Slayer.
Yeah, he's like the best HP wall in a meta where HP walls are useless. So it's like,
yeah, rip him.
It's like you get the medal for the best of the worst. You can feel about that how you may.
He wasn't he the first back row? Oh, I'm not sure if he wanted him, but he was a back row tank.
Oh, okay. Your name is TM87, which means the Maniacs 87. Oh, okay, that makes sense. It's funny that it lined up perfectly with that Urban Dictionary thing, though. Super coincidental.
Never trust Urban Dictionary.
No, the Urban Dictionary is not wrong. It's just that it doesn't correlate here, unfortunately.
Oh, I see. Is Dentarian a tank to keep with you in late game? Huh?
Nah, probably not.
Nah, he's not.
Yeah, he's not that tanky. He doesn't do that much damage. Everything he does can be filled better by somebody else. Of course, if you're on the official server, it's not like a terrible thing to have a Dentalian as a tank if you're not going to go broke playing the game. But
that's rescuing me because I just 8-starred my Dentalian.
Yeah, like I put him in the same kind of boat as Balrog, where it's like if they're not the optimal tank, but they're not terrible, but they're just you could do.
Yeah, but I mean, on the official server, you can get lucky. You can say that you're lucky when you even get like one as model or something like that. So
no, I don't know. I think that's a troll more than anything. I have one as model on fucking the official server, and it just sits there laughing at me.
But I mean, all of these Balrogs that you killed in order to upgrade your heroes is hard to tell.
Yeah, that's revenge.
I think that's actually a theory behind why you on the official server get so many Balrogs, because you don't keep them, you just kill them all the time.
Sacrificial Balrog.
Yeah, they hate you so much that they just keep coming up. They resurrect.
It's revenge.
Their personal skill just for you.
He is from hell, right? So like he shows up, I send him back to hell, and he's like, "No, fuck this, I'm coming right back." And
exactly.
The next day, another Balrog, unavoidable. But at least I can spread my plague with other people, and now they get to enjoy the benefits of umpteen
Somebody
Balrogs.
called Evil Shoot is just asking whether he should go for Asmodel or Mikhail 7-star in the private server, and he does not know who to choose.
That's such a hard choice, see.
Definitely is, yeah.
If you have a 6-star of either of them, it's so hard to call because they're both available right now. The only thing that might sway me towards Asmodel instead is the fact that you could get Asmodel from the altar and then get like a Gru or a... Fuck, I keep calling Rosa Gru. You can get Rosa or Walter from the fish bones, and that way you get 2 really good heroes instead of just one. Because if you get Mikhail, you're kind of stuck with not enough fish bones to get anything else from the from that event. Whereas
it's possible to buy 2 Marias, or 2 Walters, or 2 Rosas.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
So if you get the Asmodel from the altar, you can get those 2 of those heroes as well, making it pretty much double. You're getting a double upgrade for your team. Whereas if you go for Mikhail, it will limit you to just the 1 hero. Now Mikhail may be better, but it's hard to know.
But
like,
I mean, we don't know if Mikhail is getting nerfed, so that's one fact.
I
Like
think
that's
they're going
also
to nerf.
pulling me towards Asmodel.
I think they're going to nerf new heroes.
not right away. No.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
And
not-
the Asmodel hasn't been nerfed since forever, so
I don't think they will either. Because
yeah,
they
they
want the
won't
light.
touch Asmodel exactly.
They want light and dark heroes to be that stronger.
But not as strong as Mikhail. So
I don't even think it's a matter of having. Well, they want light and dark heroes to be strong, but not because they feel that's a better way to manage the meta, but because it's just the profitable way to run it. Where light and dark heroes are so rare, if you make those the strongest heroes, Shower has to pay for them, and Shower will pay for them.
Shower, shots fired.
That's not shots fired. If the dude has disposable income enough to throw at the game, then fucking hey, he's doing something right.
Dude, we should get Tower on here. Shower on here, definitely.
That would be interesting.
This one guy who's got a ridiculous back, and I think his hero back is kind of starting to be better than Shower's. I can send it to
back.
Who is catching up to Shower?
Just give me a sec.
I don't even know players close to Shower. I think there is one player like level 196 or something like that.
The only person I look at is even close is Mashy Bugger from our guild. Actually, he's pretty strong, but he's not Shower, not quite. Mashy Bugger's level 192.
Shower literally gains a level a day. So ridiculous.
Jesus Christ.
He's 203 already. 203.
Yeah, Mashy Bugger's only 192.
I can only imagine the reward you're like getting from becoming level 200, like 2,000 gems, but I mean he doesn't care about 2,000 gems.
What is the value of that?
Exactly, not much.
How many fish bones am I at? On the official server, I am at 1,200. On the private server, I am at...
Yeah, I outscored Surri. Nice, I'm at 1,300. Let's go.
I'm at 1,590 on the private server.
Wow.
15k, that's something. How many summons did you finish on the private server?
Just about to finish 100 actually. I'm at 97 out of 100.
Oh, okay. So
I
that's
think
gonna put you to
150.
I'm glad I even surpassed 30 on the official server. 37 right now, let's go.
What server does Shower play on? I don't even remember.
I can... Give me a second.
9 and 15, I think.
He is playing on server 9.
Because I just sent you a bunch of pictures. About
Yeah, he's in the team up arena team OD0 no one for whatever reason. Those names are so funny.
Holy shit, what am I looking at here?
Yeah, it's insane.
What in the fuck?
There's so much.
Why does he have 2 9-star Dentalians? 2 9-star Aidens?
I don't know. It's pretty strong, actually.
Oh yeah, no kidding. This guy's team is fucking brutal. He has,
Yeah,
I think
he's
he has
got
a
like
9-star Mirage
5
just to laugh at it.
5 versus he can make. I think he'll be able to. I think his plan is to make 2 9-star Sleepless and 9-star Desmog, and he's going to use 2 9-star Asmodee and 9-star Michael.
Thank you.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Who is that?
pretty excited. A guy in Lunatics.
No,
Called
Mr.
Wallacon. It's an iOS, so yeah, it's the guys who are taking first in Guild Wars now instead of Apex.
Yeah, that's savage. That's savage. That's insane.
Yeah. I think there's one picture here as well. That's
Yo, you want to show it for the stream so they can see it?
It's shocking.
See if I can rig that up. I'll show the main one. I'll show the one that has all the.
Yeah, I just saw the important back, the main back.
One second there, guys. I'll post you this awe-inspiring.
Yeah.
There's one more picture of another guy from that same server, and it's just shocking. Those guys are absolute maniacs. I'm kind of jealous, actually. Hoping I'm getting something like that on the private server.
Holy
someday.
fucking demon hunters!
And the roses and the grooves.
I didn't see those at a glance. I only see one Rosa, or it's a 9-star Rosa, but I'm not seeing Unless
Wait, what?
I'm seeing
Oh,
one.
you're checking the other guy?
Yeah.
Or the first guy? Yeah. Yeah, quite a few.
Quite ridiculous. Okay, now where is that picture to? Where are you?
You're getting up on the screen?
Yeah, I'm gonna
On
bring
the
it up.
screen? Yeah.
Okay, so this is what we're looking at here. This is what this guy has. This is the #1 combatant for shower. Currently sitting on a.
It's a Warlock con from Satoru on iOS.
What the?
Yeah, how do you feel about that, right? Like, 9-star as model, Sleepless, Rosa, Brea, 2 Dentalion, Faceless, Flamestrike, Ormus, Demon Hunter, Kareem, Bloodblade, Walter, Mirage, Bleaker, Iceblade, 2 Aidens,
right?
Lutz, Edgar, Balrog at 8, Dominator at 7. I bet you that Dominator's like his biggest regret. And another Aiden at 6-star, and a Rosa, and there's like a random Gru down there, which is 9-star, but he's only level 100.
9-star level 100 Gru, yeah. Why not?
That's just ridiculous. Like, what is up with that?
Holy fudge! And that's on like the official server, right? Crazy.
Oh yeah, there's
Oh my god! What the heck?
His bag is pretty crazy as well. There's like
430, that's probably VIP 11 or 10 at least.
like
I think it's 13. It has to be 13, right?
No, but I think 13 is 500 hero slots.
I don't think so. I think that 500 hero slots thing is just something Mad did. That's a private server.
Oh, actually?
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't think it actually gets that high without paying for it. Like, you'd have to get VIP 13 and then buy additional slots on top of that to hit.
Yeah, true.
yeah.
Oh, okay, I see. Now that makes sense.
So can you see the last picture?
Let me see. What do we get here? That's the one with all the forest heroes.
Yeah.
That one.
Forest heroes? Oh no, please.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can download. Oh, I'm trying to click the download button that's on the screen. Oh my god.
Oh.
Like the little, it was like a download button arrow, but it's actually a part of the picture and not a part of the fucking chat. Oops.
The picture's a bit small. But
By the way, you were having some coffee, sorry?
Yeah, I was drinking coffee.
Oh, okay. I was wondering, you got a nice mug right there.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's got like all sorts of little snowflakes and stuff on it. It's
Yeah.
amazing. It's not my normal mug. My normal mug has to be cleaned. I normally have a Tim Hortons mug, but I don't know if you your Europeans know what I'm talking about.
We Europeans probably not.
Nah, Tim Hortons is a Canadian thing. Like, it's a very Canadian coffee shop. I think they are starting to open up a few of them in the UK though, but it's only like in like 1 or 2 spots, so it's not huge yet. No one would. I don't think very many people would know about it outside of Canada. Anyway, let me get that picture brought up.
Yeah, I'm curious.
you should be able to make quite a team out of it. Because right now he's using, I think it's the Justice aura with the 3 Forest and 3 Fortress, and he uses 9-star.
Oh, Fortress.
Oh yeah, that's the picture.
Gosh. I see.
So look at all those cool, the demon hunters too. Oh, the roses. Yeah, somehow I didn't see those
What the
roses.
fuck? What is that?
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping to be able to see 2.
Also, the Zekas is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Just that random Zekas right there, like splitting all these top tier heroes off.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Trying to keep. It's like a bodyguard, making sure that Starlight doesn't.
Yeah, exactly.
She's like, you're not involved in this, and somehow like Faceless snuck in. She's like, fuck you guys.
Yeah, she got in. Oh man, what's this Edgar? What the heck?
Oh, sir, what is the problem here?
But I'm really excited to actually see 2 9-star roses on the same team.
But
because
that's
I don't think
VIP
we've seen it so
13.
far. I think it might be.
Yeah, 520. Holy damn.
Yeah.
Insane that he's actually in unofficial, almost hitting a higher amount than we would actually have.
Yeah.
On the private server.
Gosh, ridiculous.
But I think his team is like 9-star Mickey and Gru.
Mickey.
And Oh yeah, and it's working wonders actually. But I think that's mostly because not that many players actually have Aria or Bloodblade on iOS yet, so that's one of the
Oh
reasons.
yeah.
I still don't
And
think.
he uses the Fox, so that increases dodge by 10%, which
Oh
is
gosh.
pretty crazy as well. And it's
That's
maxed,
lit, yeah.
so, and it's healing, so that's really strong as well.
Crazy. Still won't have a chance against Asmodel, but
I think he's actually doing really. He's one of the top players.
Yeah, it's okay to get. Otsar asked if it's okay to get double Walter from the current Fishbones event, and I think it is, but I do think that Rosa is better.
Yeah,
That's my
I would
opinion.
definitely buy Rosa, 100%. If you don't have him, definitely go buy him so you can 8-star him at the very least.
Or if you already have, if you're working on a Rainbow faction and you have Demon Hunter as your Forest faction, I could see justifying Walter that way as well. But if you can't, if there's some way you could fit Rosa into your team, definitely get Rosa.
I think, in my opinion, Rosa's definitely the biggest change you can make to your team.
Right, so I actually thought of going for a Walter to replace my Dominator, but that actually sounds reasonable.
I don't know.
But I mean, but I already have like an 8-star Faceless.
Are you using the Rainbow faction though?
I'm definitely going for it on the official one.
Rosa's just too good.
I mean, that would kind of limit me in a way, so hard to tell. And I was also planning on going for Demon Hunter, so.
Yeah, I don't saying that Rosa is better than Demon Hunter in general is a hard thing.
I would any day. I would say Rosa's better than any hero except maybe Asphodel.
No, I can't agree with that because you can get Demon Hunter will go before Rosa in like every scenario, right? I think that Demon Hunter has better speed. With let me see, let me make sure what I'm talking about here. Okay, she has
it's really hard to tell.
822, and Rosa is gonna have 826, right? I think that's what it ends off of. So okay, he's gonna be like he's gonna have 880 or 820 exactly because you get 40 speed from the guild tech tree, right?
You get 60.
What? 60?
Yeah, you get 2 per level.
Holy fuck! Okay, so yeah, Rosa will definitely be going first. Then shit, that might throw a wrench into this. Yeah, it's hard to say because Rosa's faster. That's what kills it. If Rosa wasn't faster, then Demon Hunter I would say is definitely better. But where Rosa is faster,
it's just that the difference that Rosa's making in the 2 teams when he's doing his buffs and debuffs, it's just too big.
It is really big, but the way I gotta look at it is that if you're up against a Demon Hunter and if she was faster than Rosa, then in half the fights that you fight against a Rosa won't use his ability. But where Rosa is faster, that then throws a wrench into my whole problem.
Just that when like Rosa fights like a really high DPS team, I'm not sure if his debuffs will like make the difference.
Yeah, that's a good thing too. Like if you're up against a team with Asmodel and Flame Strike and shit like that with a Rainbow faction, does that start to really become a big thing when they're just one-shotting your team anyway?
I mean, those are really exceptional thoughts. So probably against the average team, Rosa is better.
I think against any team, I would at least rate Rosa as a hero that's better against any teams because the difference. Okay, so whenever Rosa's placing attacking, the opponent's team's defense is getting reduced by 20.4%.
Yeah, and you're right. When we're not like taking the top teams, like really crazy teams into consideration.
I would still use Rosa.
No, again, I'm not saying Rosa is not useful in those top tier teams, but I think that Demon Hunter becomes at least equal when you get to that point because I don't know if that. Like, reducing defense is good, and reducing attack is good, and increasing your own attack is good, but if all of those stats are not making a big enough difference when you have, like, a 9-star Asmodel and stuff like that, I don't know. I need to see it in practice against a little bit more. But I do know that Rosa is amazing. Don't get me wrong. But to say it's the second best hero in the game,
I would. I don't think I would ever.
Especially that kind of takes out Flame Strike.
Yeah,
I
like
would still.
Yeah. I'm starting to not think as highly of Flame Strike as I used to, because I'm thinking, okay, so Flame Strike, when you look at her, whenever her allies dies, she doesn't gain as much as an example, as Aiden would, because she's getting skill damage, which is weaker than. Actually, she's gaining skill damage and attack, but that's weaker than what Aiden gains, which is armor break and attack.
Is skill damage worse than armor break?
20 and 15, it's even higher percentages.
Yeah, and skill damage is just weaker than attack on its own, by how it works. So if Flame Strike is against a team that's really tanky, which hopefully I'll be able to make by using Almas and Rosa, she won't really gain that much, because the opponent's team won't die that much. And she gains the most when the opponent's team dies, because she gets the crit and the crit damage. So when opponent's team, maybe 3 heroes are dead already, she has a 60% increased chance to crit.
Yeah.
Which is, so it's like a win more hero in my opinion, but
Yeah.
she's still, of course, insanely strong.
Actually, also when Rosa, even when Rosa fights those crazy teams with the insane damage, he would still do this skill when he drops below 50%. So, I mean, he wouldn't die from run round. So he would still kind of increase the defense by 35% for 3 rounds, even after he died. So.
I think the thing that's not being equated for here is the fact that you're assuming Rosa is on the team against Flame Strike, but not with her.
Yeah, that's what I was talking from or about.
Because if you put Rosa on both sides, then I think that Flame Strike is still as powerful as she initially was, because you're gonna have the debuffs going both ways, and she'll still be able to. It'll pretty much neutralize itself, I guess, if that's a better way to look at it.
Yeah, kind of.
But it's hard to say. When it comes to DPS versus support heroes, it's hard to compare them as a tier list. And that's why making a tier list is really hard in those kind of respects. Because the thing is that, Rosa does do does have a huge impact on all teams. And his speed allows him to do it, is the thing. That's where I think that the priests might be just too fast. That's insane. With that 60 bonus from Guild Tech, that's outrageous. So going first always is really important, and again, that's going back to that Emily thing I was talking about. But if only they gave her a little bit better of an ability.
So actually, now I'm overthinking my standpoint. I was to buy myself the Walters, but actually, when I combine my Rosa with an Ormus, which I already have, then that's actually better than getting Walter, I think.
Definitely. I don't think Walter is in that. I don't think Walter keeps up with those top tier heroes like Rosa and.
He won't be keeping up with Rosa.
Yeah, also Rosa is so rare. I've probably seen him 2 times as a reward, whereas Walter I've seen multiple times.
And there's always infinite of them in the altar.
Yeah, exactly, from the altar now, and there's no Rosa on the altar, so one should grab him Rosa when he's there. So actually interesting, yeah.
I'm thinking that Walter might be the weak.
Yeah, so actually going for the 2 Rosas is not too bad of an idea.
No, definitely isn't a bad idea. The only debate then becomes how useful is Brea compared to Rosa. That's...
Brea is really hard. That's so hard.
I'm loving Brea.
Yeah,
the thing is, I kind of fucked up this event, because last night I was sitting at 2.2k of fish bones, and I ended up using all of them on Alps.
What?
But because the thing is, I was thinking that I would still be able to buy Brea, or with just one of them, by the end of the event. But I think that I'm actually going to be lacking 200.
Oh my god.
Fish bones
But Brea is literally just the tank in one person, the tank switch in one person. now tanks are not like supposed to be pure damage walls and meat shields, but also should like they're also supposed to like deal damage and all that stuff, and that's exactly what Berea is. So
Yeah.
I gotta wonder though, Dryp, why would you just not wait? Why you could have just waited until the end of the event and seen if you had enough resources. Why did you do this to yourself?
I don't know why.
Ugh,
Impatient, I think.
that's so
And it was
gross.
also
So
because
unfortunate.
so because I bought 18 orbs, I used them all on light and dark. Because I was 2 5-star light heroes away from 7-star Asmodel, and
Yeah.
I was only 1 5-star dark hero from 6-star DA. And I ended up making 6-star DA. I'm only 1 7-star Asmodel now.
Yeah, it's not like the Prophet Orbs didn't have value.
Yeah,
But-
definitely not, but I still wanted the Berea though.
Yeah, exactly. That's the risky part. Like, there's a risk when you do it like that because there is a variance to how many fish bones you get. So even if you had even if your math was on, say like even if you had exactly enough to get those orbs and to get Brea at the end, variance could kind of fuck you over there, and that's
Yeah, that's true. I was just thinking, okay, so it was around 18 ops. I would be able to get around 3 swaps as well.
Hmm.
So if I was going to be lucky, and I was,
Yeah,
of
that's
course,
always
going
the
to,
good thing about the
yeah,
orbs. You can just
I was going to swap
swap.
for Berea, but I've done 15 swaps so far, and I've got nothing.
yeah. The swaps are hateful to me too, honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
swaps don't favor Surrey as well.
No, I get so
remember
much.
when you were trying to go for the Kareem?
Yeah, I gave up, and then like a fucking like a week or two later, they end up actually putting him in the altar, and I just banged my head off the
Oh.
fucking floor.
That's so rib. Feels so bad.
What a fucking waste of resources.
Definitely was, yeah. Oh man, it's the same with like my Dominator, but well, one learns from mistakes.
Well, that's the worst part though, is that I don't even feel like you can learn from this stuff because this is just random. It's just like one day what you're doing is the right choice, and then the next day they implement something that makes it the wrong choice. So just that you can't really
At
learn.
least now you know that the developers just do random stuff. So
Yeah, I guess you learn that there's a lot of volatility in the game, so no matter what you do, it's
Yeah.
probably the wrong choice. That's ultimately what you need to take from Idle Heroes, that everything you do is wrong. Nothing is actually a good idea.
that's true. When you have get like a 9-star Mikhail and you're super happy, and next day they put another like greater hero in.
Yeah, they put a
All those
character
people
that they come up with a new 5-star that their ability specifically stuns Mikhail 100% of the time, and you're like,
Yeah,
well,
just
fuck.
a Mikhail counter. Straight up.
The thing is, I'm kind of hoping that I'll.
You keep cutting out every now and then. Like I just missed half of what
I
you
do?
just said. Yeah, I couldn't hear half of what you just said.
I'm hoping that I'll be able to get enough fish bones to buy Rosa by the end of the event, because I'll be able to 9-star him then.
Yeah, that's really good.
Oh man, I kind of want to buy the ops anyways.
They still go with those orbs. Good lord.
Yeah.
The addiction is real.
I can't justify the orbs. I can't do it. It's
Yeah, but orbs are just so addictive. I can only agree.
Yeah.
Who likes them to just sit around and waiting for the event that is potentially never going to come?
and
So
the orbs are so vital in getting light and dark heroes that it's problematic.
Yeah, they really
true.
are.
Oh, actually, somebody's asking. That he's saying that he is not going to be able to get Flame Strike and Asmodel, so he asked whether he should get Flame Strike or Asmodel. So it's a tough question, isn't it?
Mm.
I think it kind of depends, but I would.
It depends
Mostly
if he has
all-
an Asmodel already. I would say.
I would
or
mostly
Flame
always
Strike.
pick. I would mostly always pick Asmodel because he's so rare to get, and you can always swap into Flame Strike. But
Exactly. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But it's like so rare. That's also the rarity is not only like a point to get him, but also 1 point to avoid him. So
Yeah.
that's hard.
you might
Hard
not
to
get
tell.
another one.
The way I
So you might just be wasting 5k of outer stones.
Yeah, the way I look at it is that there's a perfect way to phrase this, and that is Flame Strike is the short-term benefit. If you get Flame Strike, more than likely she will be a better addition to your team quicker. But if you go for Asmodel, in the long run, that is the better answer. But it may be a very long run. Like you might be like
Yeah,
two years
true.
before that actually benefits you.
Yeah.
But it will. Eventually, that will be the right choice. But how long are you willing to wait is the question.
It's ridiculous how long it takes to get like a 9-star what join like as model or even sleepless.
And of course that the volatility of the devs again comes into play, because if next event they have another fucking as model in available to be obtained somehow, then all of a sudden it wasn't even a long-term investment, it was just tomorrow or something like that. It's so I think it's best to go with the long-term investments, especially with the volatility of the game. It makes more sense to me anyway.
Yeah, I guess so. Probably going for the as model is better choice.
Yeah.
It hurts though to like not get the opportunity to get like one flame strike at least. So.
But if you already have a 5-star flame strike and you need the second one, then I could see it's so much of a boost in the short term that it might outweigh the long term. Because
I think it's so small.
If you don't have either of them as model, but if you have a flame strike already, go for the second one. That's what I did on the official server, and I actually have an as model already, but I know it's going to be way too much effort to get the 6-star as model on the official server for me, because I don't play it that much anymore. But if it's on a private server, then definitely as model. There's not even any question if it's a private server.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I can only like talk from the standpoint of a official server player, because that's mainly what I do.
We got you on the private server now, though. You gotta keep at it.
Yeah, that's true though. I switched sides now. Rip me.
Rip? It's not rip, man. That's to your benefit.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, still. Sometimes you have to move past those things.
Yeah, I see.
It's for the better. It's for the better. The greater good, or the greater lesser good, I guess. I don't know.
Let's see. Maybe I'm still going to spend some money on the official game, though.
Yeah, that's the way I started.
Though I'm going to regret it. I hope I'm not going to regret it too much.
That's the way I started off too, though. Is that I was like, yeah, I'm gonna still buy these monthly cards just to make sure I support the game, because I don't want the game to go down or anything like that. And then like a month later, I'm like, oh, it's really fucking hard to justify buying anything on this game anymore. Holy shit!
Exactly.
It's a little bit of stress here. Like, do I want to pay like $20-something a month for this game now? Nah, probably not.
But wait, it's 27 Canadian dollars?
Well, with the monthly card and the mini monthly, it was coming like close to $30.
I see, okay. I think it would be like, yeah, I mean, the game that's one of the points that keeps me away from buying, because it's like $29, and convert that to like the euro currency, it's way more. Usually it would be probably like 24 euros, but instead it's 33 euros, so I don't know. The way they put those currency differences, like, I don't know, it just makes no sense to me.
Yeah,
Euro is way more expensive than like the dollar, and they just switch that and make it otherwise. So
yeah, they actually use an exchange rate that's more steep than the actual exchange rate, which is very tedious.
Yeah, it definitely is. That exchange rate sucks, especially for like Europeans.
If they were to just use a flat rate, like if they were just to charge you American and then like your bank or PayPal or whatever it is do the translation, you'd be better off.
I don't see why that is, but that's probably a problem related to the Play Store in a way.
No, because I've seen it done like that. I've seen it done like that on other games. They just don't. They choose not to do that because they can get more money this way.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
It's just more profitable.
Interesting. I don't know. There, another point where the devs don't really think, but well.
Well, it's more money. It needs that mad Skrilla.
As always, that's the point. Money. Probably they like ABBA. If that's something you know, Suri.
What was that? ABBA?
Do you know ABBA, the music group, with their song?
I know of them, but I don't. My mom used to listen to that when I was like a kid, and I can't remember that.
Yeah, when they have like this money song, so it's probably their favorite song at the headquarters.
Yeah, it's just on blast all the time.
But I mean, that's funny because I know that from CS, as I said. People at Valve are just the same, so I guess it's always big companies just want profit. Yeah, that's it.
That's the nature of the game.
But we shouldn't slander them too much. They still kind of invented that game. Without them, we would just probably not do this stuff right here, so...
No, exactly. And not only that, too, but to be fair, if you want to get into like a capitalistic sense about it, it's a little political, but I think it's actually required of them by law.
Not political.
No, it's not political. I mean, like, economical. It's required of them by law to try to increase their profits as much as possible for the shareholders, right? Because if the shareholders believe that you're acting within the best interest of something that's not the company that they own shares for, they can actually like sue you and shit like that. So you actually have to do everything in your possible capacity to make your business as profitable as possible. And if they can prove that you're not doing that, you can end up in a lot of trouble. So
yeah, whatever. It's a hard topic.
Yeah, it's again, I don't know enough about it to really say for sure, but I'm pretty sure that's how the stock market and stuff like that. If you have a publicly traded company, you have no excuse for not maximizing profits. And if you do have an excuse, you can go to jail. So that fucking sucks.
True. But it's just so ridiculous thinking about how much money Shower spends a month on this game. Like,
Oh my God.
I don't know. Like, I mean, what VIP is he going to be? 13 debt already alone is like 60k. So
I think it's 20k. He has it on 2 accounts.
Yeah, we kind of thought that it was going to be 60k because it seemed that it would be doubling every VIP, but it doesn't.
Yeah. Oh,
it falls off after like VIP 8, I think.
Oh, okay.
It ends off at like 21,000.
Still ridiculous, 20k. So.
Yeah, and he has 2 accounts like that. He has 2 accounts like that. So.
Gosh.
Like that's 40,000. If I could buy a home, it wouldn't be a good home, but I could buy a home around my account for $40,000.
A car. I mean, the women whose car I kind of demolished, I could buy her a new one. So.
For the amount of money you spent on this game, yeah.
Yeah.
And again, this is not like if you are watching this, do not take this in the wrong way by any means.
Yeah, it's just banter.
Yeah,
exactly.
and if you've got the shitload of money that you can spend that much without crippling yourself financially, you're fucking doing something right, man. You're loaded. I mean, you've got to have a lot of.
He's also kind of a hero for spending so much because he keeps the game alive in a way. So.
Yeah,
that's
so
also pretty cool.
This is not meant as detrimental or negative.
No, definitely.
It's just hard for me to imagine as someone who makes what you've spent on this game in a year to imagine you spending that kind of money. Like it's just hard to grasp. That's it.
Yeah, true. That's just normal people can't imagine spending that much.
Yeah, it's craziness. But hey, man, you spend what you want on your recreational habits.
Oh, my Twitch chat just completely broke. No more people are shown. RIP.
It exploded. How long have we been going?
There was an interesting question, but oh well.
We've actually been streaming for 2.5 hours. That's nice. It's good.
That's crazy.
That long already?
Yeah, it's gone pretty quick.
Yeah.
True.
And I've got school tomorrow.
Do you?
I don't, but I still gotta wake up like really early.
What time is it where you're to anyway, Dryp?
It's 9:45.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so we can we'll wrap it up in like I guess the next 20 minutes is good. Do you might?
Yeah, I think so. I've got to practice for the exam tomorrow.
Oh yeah, you were saying that. I forgot you have like a rehearsal or something.
Wait, you have exams, like final exams, or?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
For the second semester at university.
Oh, okay. I just graduated high school, so.
That's nice.
School, RIP.
Yeah. Are you guys talking about school? 27 years old? Fuck.
Exactly.
Old man of the group.
By the way, is there actually are you able to get the private server on iOS as well?
No, unfortunately not.
No, sorry.
No. Okay, so JPZ in Zuri's chat. Sorry, but you can't get it.
No, and it's insanely hard to actually to incorporate a altered game onto the iOS store. That's why it's. And you can't. I don't think there's no such thing as like an APK, obviously for iOS, and the only way to get it is through the Google or the Apple Store. And doing that apparently is like running with no legs. It's really fucking hard. So I don't think that man is gonna be too interested in working that out. That always,
was that another one of those sounds?
Yeah, it always breaks up the flow of conversation. It makes sure that there's never too much dead air.
It's like Ghostbusters or something.
It's actually
so funny. It sounds so nice.
It's Kefka's laugh from Final Fantasy VI. He's like the main antagonist. It's really iconic sound for people who play the Super Nintendo RPGs.
Oh man, gotta hop on the private server again.
Classic. So I guess the last thing I'd like to talk about specifically is exactly where does Berea fit into the to like a tier list kind of scope. Do you think that he's actually like top tier, or is he high tier, kind of like a Bloodblade type scenario, or do you think he actually pushes above that?
Top tier,
Top
definitely.
Tier. For sure.
Hard, but
if you're going to build a rainbow team, I would definitely use
like the combination of armor steel and his like skill where he goes completely ham after round 6 is just incredible. So it's not really comparable to any other tank. Not even like Wu's counterattack in a way, or the other skills of him can cope with him.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things too.
Maria,
like,
so
he completely fucks over Gru, right? Because not only does he steal his armor, but he's also just naturally the fire element, so he just cuts
exactly
right
30 extra damage.
Just cutting right through him.
it's ridiculous. And Gru used to be considered top tier, so we should also consider Berea top tier, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think
I'm just sad when we're talking about volume.
Yeah.
I already have one, so if I had bought him, I could.
Feels bad, man. Must feel bad.
It kind of does.
And also Berea, let's be honest, he looks completely badass.
Yeah, he does. It's a pretty cool artwork.
Molten dwarf.
Yeah. Like the hammer, just he overall just reminds me of Thor in a way. So
Yeah.
just crazy.
He just fit perfect in my team. It just, oh man, because
Really well done.
almost would be healing him, and which of course is good. So he stays above the opponent's HP, and Rosa would just make him a bit more tanky.
Yeah, so definitely top tier for me.
And the thing is that even before he freaks out after round 6, he actually still does really good damage before then too, because of his percent base damage.
Yeah, especially against tanks and stuff with his like armor steel, which is really good. And also, I was so shocked when I read through his suppression attack at first, because it's like, what? But they also nerfed him, right? Didn't they reduce the maximum health thingy right there, the extra damage?
That was because of okay. So at first it seemed like it was going to be 50% from his own maximum HP.
No, it's the enemy. Yeah. Okay.
It was the description that was wrong. So they changed the description and they put a max on it, so that he wasn't going to fighting marauders. So if he was fighting a marauder or a raid, where because he has like 1 million HP or something. So if the raid happens to get to 1% HP and it gets below like 1 million, Maria is going to hit 15% of the raid's maximum HP, which might be 130 million.
Yes, some absurd number.
50% of that is going to be ridiculous.
It's just stupid. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. It's so out of scale. They can do that. They could make that the way it works, but they would cap it against neutral monsters. That's the way like League of Legends works. League of Legends will have an ability that does like 15% of the opponent's max HP, but there's a cap so that it can't go above a certain point in case you have, like if you're fighting some of the neutral monsters that have like 10,000 HP, you're not just going to hit it for fucking 1.5k or something like that randomly.
I was so surprised today when I saw you streaming LOL.
Yeah, I was streaming LOL last night, yeah. Yeah.
Like what? Like what? Am I reading this wrong? Is it like fake? But you actually did. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, I play League of Legends on stream once or twice a week actually. My girlfriend plays it, so like every now and then when she's down, I'll usually just play that with her.
Does she like Teemo?
No. Well, she finds him cute, but she doesn't play.
Oh okay, but I'm not into LOL anyways. I only know the names.
Yeah. Okay, let me see. I want to find the. I had a picture of what Berea's fucking ability was before they changed it.
Yeah, I would.
See if I can
I can't
find it.
remember. One could go over the Facebook page though. That would be easy.
Here it is. Okay, I took a picture of it because it was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. The way that it fucking reads is disgusting.
Oh no, not another one of those.
It's the description.
Yeah, it says deals 168% attack damage against to the frontline enemies, and deals extra 15% damage of maximum health against to the target enemy of less health than his own. Like, how do you even read that? What does any of that mean? That's so all over the place. It's
ouch.
And then can't be dodged at the end. That's the only part of it that makes any sense. Can't be dodged. does damage to the less enemy of HP more than his own. What the fuck is that?
That's like a meme even.
Yeah, exactly. That's like another one of those things. I need someone to create a Twitch chat thing for me, like where it's just a Kappa face with that garbage.
It's ridiculous how they even do stuff like that.
Yeah, even especially after their page, like their Facebook page thingy, where they were asking for translators, and it still is the same, and it was from May 29th, so that's almost a month ago now, and nothing changed. So
I feel like I could just copy and paste the Japanese or Chinese characters into Google Translate, and then just like fix the grammar, and it would be fine. Like, how did they butcher this so much?
Most likely.
It's like they're just missing that.
Make those crazy artworks and animations on their Facebook page. So why not get to pay a dude in China minimum wage who studied I don't know, English, and just get it through? But it's so ridiculous.
Yeah, it makes no sense. It feels like they're just using Google Translate. They throw the text into Google Translate, and whatever it spits out, they're just like, yep, that's it. Doesn't matter what it is. Does less damage to a target of equal damage than his own. Yeah, that sounds good to me. Push it through.
Oh man.
Fucking God.
God damn it.
What a nightmare. But anyway, back onto the actual point.
Oh my God, I just got a bad message in game. Somebody do you remember the TM guy?
Yeah.
He's oh my God, it feels bad. For the love of God, tell Zuri not to stream LOL anymore. Why? Why?
Oh,
why are you so mean?
That doesn't matter. I actually had like 5 people specifically that joined in and joined the chat and everything that were having a good time. So, unfortunately, I think I'm gonna have to take 5 against 1 on this one. And we're gonna have to keep that.
But it sucks because I enjoyed, for example, your Zelda plays, the Zelda ones that didn't, I don't know, got accepted that well. They were so good. I mean, it's my personal opinion, but before my A levels and those, I just watched them because they were so, I don't know, calming in a way. So feels bad.
Nah, I wouldn't worry about it too much. And the worst thing is that if I start doing actual League of Legends content, this person is gonna shit their pants.
Yeah, true.
Because I'm trying to find a way to do it, but it's hard because League of Legends market is so saturated that it's hard to actually find an area that you can fit into that's not just duplicating what everyone else is already doing.
True. But it seems like there's a guy who says I enjoyed the League streams, so might be an option to keep up.
Yeah. I don't think it's an issue. I think that if someone doesn't like League of Legends, that makes sense that you wouldn't like it.
True.
But
by the way, Dryp, do you play League of Legends, or have you played it?
I've played it back in the days.
Okay.
It's been, once in a while I play it with a friend, and it's mostly ARAM or the what's it called, Earth, I think.
Okay.
That's what I usually play on stream, actually, is ARAMs, because it's very easy to get people to jump in and join you on ARAMs, because there's no real, first off, there's no toxicity, really, in ARAM. People don't talk shit that much.
Yeah.
And
the games are pretty quick.
Exactly, they're very quick, and it's not too dependent on skill. Like, you can have a range of bronze to diamond, and it's not going to be that big of a deal. It's not like you're going to get shit stomped because of that. You're going to get shit stomped because they got fucking Jace and shit like that. It's going to be the heroes that really fuck it over.
By the way, Suri, have you already talked about your Twitch community?
Twitch community?
It says, for me it says, idle heroes in the community of variety streaming.
Yeah, variety streaming, that's just, I used to use the mobile gaming group. You can change the group anytime you want. So as soon as
because I'm not into Twitch, so excuse me asking.
No, that's no problem. Whenever you start up a Twitch stream, you pick a name for the stream itself. You pick which game you're streaming from a list of games, as well as a group that you can associate with when...
Is Idle Heroes in the list?
No, Idle Heroes is not in the list. And if it is there, I think it has 0 people. So it's there's not really much point to be in that group. The one I was using before variety streaming was the mobile gaming tab, but that ranges from some days having 1,000 people in it to, today, I think it had 3. So, I didn't bother with that one today. But variety streaming is basically means that you stream more than one game specifically. You're not dedicated to one game. And while I guess it's technically true for my channel, it's kind of bullshitty at the same time because I do mostly stream Idle Heroes. but it's there's like always like 10,000 plus people in that group, so it's a much better marketing tool to use than something like the mobile gaming.
I see. I was just curious because I didn't know what that means.
Yeah,
but all right, good to know, I guess.
Yeah, it's just another vehicle for promoting. But yeah, so I think I guess the final decision on Beret is that he's a top tier hero. He's very strong.
Definitely we considered him top. So I mean, go for him as long as he's available and not has a significant counter.
That's the only worry I would have with him, is that he seems very reminiscent to Dentalion, where Dentalion was the same way, same type of hero too, Abyss Warrior that just comes in and destroys the meta for a little while, where he's the best, and then gets one nerf, and then gets another nerf, and then another one shortly after.
Yeah.
And
I feel the same's going to happen with Mikhail. So.
Hopefully, Brea doesn't go through at least as bad as Dentalion went through, and he will remain at least relevant for a while, because they gutted Dentalion. They did not like.
Didn't Dentalion have like 100%?
I think it was like 120% originally, actually.
Oh wow!
Yeah, he was insane. Dentalion was madness. I remember when he first came out, like a week after he came out. Who was it? There was was it Velox? I think he was. He was like one of the big players back in the day before like Shower really took over. I think Velox was like the #1 player on Android, and he used to, on the 3 versus 3 team, he used to just have a 9-star Dentalion sitting there by himself, and I used to use my main team with like multiple 8 and 9-star heroes, and I could not kill this guy. Like I couldn't do enough damage with my heroes. Like I know I had lower tier heroes, but to still have one 9-star hero versus like 6, 8, and 9-star heroes, and they can't kill him, there's something fucked up there. Like that's just completely broken.
It's a bit with Aiden as well. Aiden could stand alone in there.
Yeah, but at least with Aiden, you understand the mechanic that's happening, where he's powering up off of the death of a bunch of weaker heroes. But with Balrog, with Dentalion, you could literally just put just the Dentalion, nothing else, just him sitting there, and he would just heal through all the damage, and you would eventually lose.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. So
By the way, there's an interesting question we could also discuss. That's actually really creative. What is your favorite looking hero, but the most disappointing hero in use?
Favorite look? I think that's Fat Move for me, because he's kind of like, he looks like this molten lava guy, and I like his 6-star animation has like a really cool like glowing red and black patterns and shit like that. So I actually really like the aesthetics of him. But holy god, if there was not a worse hero in the game, I don't think you could fucking find him.
For me, it's Bait, sadly. Yeah. I mean, people in my stream love Bait, and I love Bait as well. We keep making jokes about him being the best hero in the game, but he's just so handsome. But he's like so bad. Oh, gosh.
I think I have 2. The first one being Christian.
Actually, Christian looks good, it's true.
Yeah, looks awesome. But
nice abs right there.
Yeah, definitely. And the second one is the Grey-Eyed.
Oh, great,
really
yeah.
Awesome, but dear God, it's so bad.
Yeah, the
I
Grey-Eyed.
thought that question was worth picking up, because that's actually really creative.
The Grey-Eyed looks like fucking Rengar, right, from League of Legends.
Yeah, actually, it's really one of the most cool looking heroes in my opinion.
Yeah, the saber-toothed cat. Oh my god, Kefka, get out of here.
I would love the avatar, just to have it.
Yeah, just to have the avatar.
Yeah, exactly. That's cosmetic reason.
I think I do. I think I have the avatar.
Actually, looks funny. Yeah.
Both of my accounts, actually. I think I do anyway, because I think just through the product of making. No, I
it's
don't.
It's the same way. I would love to have a field, because the avatar also looks cool.
Yeah.
I've always just used Starlight as my avatar ever since I got her from the first 5-star reward for the monthly thing. So I don't think I could change that. I swap between the 5 and 6-star faceless or Starlight, but I don't think I really ever use anything other than that.
I used to actually use Bait since forever, but now I switched to that little 2-star Bone Archer kid. I don't know, just a troll.
Yeah, a lot of people do that actually. They use like the silly ones, like the
exactly. It's just so funny when there's like people like Bula or Tsunami in my server with their S model 6 stars and Sleepless, and then there's just me with that little troll guy. So it's the main purpose for it.
Yeah, you use that little skeleton too. There's like that level 1 skeleton that has like that stupid ass grin that people use for lols. But I think we're gonna have to call it there, guys. It's been an excellent stream, though. It's been good stuff.
definitely.
Definitely was. Thanks for having me.
No, thank you guys for joining. It's see if we can do this more in the future. And thank you very much, guys. And have a good night, stream.